Darlington, Bristol, New Hampshire, Charlotte, Roval, Talladega, Martinsville. And now Phoenix. It all comes down to this. It's the NASCAR Truck Series Championship race. They fought hard all season long, from the first lap at Daytona to the last restart at Martinsville. And tonight, 4 drivers have earned their shot at the title. Here are your 4 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship contenders. Corey Heim, Tricon Garage. Caden Honeycutt, Helmut Friesen Racing. Ty Majeski, 4 Sports Racing. Tyler Ankrum, McAnally, Hilgerman Racing. 4 drivers, 4 dreams, 1 chance to etch their name into NASCAR history. The trucks are ready, the teams are ready, the stage is set for one final showdown in the desert. This is the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship 4 Final.
And what a final it will be, as tonight from the Phoenix Raceway on this Halloween night 2025, we determine a new Craftsman Truck Series champion. Tonight, the final step in determining who will take home the Truck Series title for 2025. Hello, one and all. I'm Matthew Owens. Welcome to Phoenix. Thanks for having us in for the race. JT is with us as well. And we're only a matter of moments away from getting this Truck Series championship race underway. It is yet another championship weekend for NASCAR in the desert just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. Yes, for many of you that is going through a Halloween night, I am sure it is quite chilly, quite cool. It feels like Halloween, it feels like fall. It certainly does not in Phoenix. Temperatures all day long in the high 80s. The sun will be setting here in about an hour or so in Phoenix, and temperatures in the time frame that it's going to take to finish this race will not get down any lower than 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is pretty warm, pretty steamy, pretty sunny, and very intense for this Craftsman Truck Series championship race. Now, of course, every year that we do this, we have 3 championship races. That means 12 championship hopefuls. And usually, more times than not, the 3 races themselves really take on a life of their own and an identity of their own. But to be truthful, the race tonight for the Truck Series and tomorrow night for the Xfinity Series kind of have the same vibes to them. When you think of this Truck Series championship race, of course, everyone thinks about Corey Heim, and why not? In the 24 races this year, he has won 11 of them. He easily could have had more, upwards towards 15 or 16, depending on if circumstances went one way or another here or there across the season. He's been completely dominant. He has had far and away the best season that any driver has ever had in Truck Series history. That dates back, of course, to 1995. Then you have a former champion, a veteran of the series that very well could be just lying in the weeds ready to snatch the championship away. Tomorrow, that's Justin Allgaier. Tonight, that's Ty Majeski. He is the reigning series champion, trying to go back-to-back. But he does not have a win in the 24 races this season. And then also...
Well,
got two pretty big underdogs in Caden Hunt at Rockingham on Easter weekend. And then Caden Honeycutt. What a wild season it's been for him to get to this point. He's driven for 3 different teams. He now drives for the Stuart Friesen team. Of course, Friesen won his way into the playoffs in this 52 truck in a wild race at Michigan. Of course, suffered a horrific injury in the middle of the season, driving on a short track, a short dirt track, as he often does. Caden Honeycutt has slid his way in. Tonight, he's trying to win the Drivers' Championship for himself, and he's trying to win the Owners' Championship for this 52 team that has gone through the ringer this season. So yes, the identity of this Truck Series Championship is very strange indeed. Between the 4 drivers, you have 12 wins, and 11 come from Corey Heim himself. 1 from Ankrum, none from Majeski or Honeycutt. So JT, it sets the stage for what could be one of the stranger championship races we've ever seen, especially, we know the elephant in the room and certainly on social media, it's going to be a very, very strange environment and, yeah, on social media, maybe toxic if Corey Heim does not come away with the championship trophy tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you mentioned how that is the case tomorrow as well in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. All 3 races live on the channel this weekend, just like how it was last week with all the elimination races. And, well, trucks today, and that is the big elephant in the room. We'll go through the grid momentarily, but this camera angle suggests that we'll be getting ready for the command in a couple of moments' time. But we've got 150 laps of the Phoenix Speedway, which separates these 4 drivers from the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship. Let's go down to pre-race ceremonies.
Today, she's here to say the most famous words in motorsports. Take it away, Rachel.
Craftsman Truck Series drivers, start your engine!
Engines fired, Matthew. It's time to get ready for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship race.
Yeah, it could be a very spooktacular night on this
what you
Halloween night to crown a Truck Series champion. Qualifying was held earlier, so let's go ahead and give you the starting grid and how they're going to line up for this Truck Series championship race. And there's a twist here on the starting lineup, too. So Lane Riggs won the pole earlier today, and he will not start there. He will drop to the rear of the field for the start. Riggs, who was eliminated last week in the elimination race at Martinsville, scheduled to go off on the front row with his front row motorsports teammate, Chandler Smith. Brent Cruz starts in row 2 alongside Tanner Gray. The highest qualified playoff driver, championship contender, is Caden Honeycutt for the Hallmar International team. He lines up in the 3rd row with the driver that's won 11 times this season to match his truck number, Corey Heim. Raja Caruth is in row 4 with the reigning champion trying to go back-to-back, but time Majeski. Gio Rogero won at Talladega a couple of weeks back. He lines up in the 5th row with Ben Rhodes, a 2-time former champion of the series. Trucks 7 and 77 are next to each other in row 6, Stephen Parsons and Corey LaJoy. Tyler Reef in row 7 with Jake Garcia, while Jack Wood is in row 8 with Andres Perez de Lara. Bailey Curry starts from 17th, while the 18th starter is Cole Butcher in the Atlantic Tilt Load Toyota. Daniel Hemrick, former Xfinity Series champion, crown champion of that series right here in Phoenix, is in row 10 with Connor Mosak, both carrying Napa sponsorship tonight. Tyler Ankrum, the 4th and final of the championship contenders, starts from 21st on the grid. He's got a long way to go. He's in the 11th row with Dawson Sutton. Grant Enfinger, of course, has come to Phoenix before, racing for a championship. He doesn't tonight. Starts alongside Luke Baldwin in the 12th row. Behind him, starting 25th in perhaps his final Truck Series start. The longtime veteran for a quarter of a century in this series, former champion Matt Crafton, starts alongside Tony Breidinger. Spencer Boyd in the 14th row alongside Frankie Muniz in the Gold Star Casino Ford. Nathan Boyd starts from 29th, flanked by Clayton Green. Greg Van Alst from Indiana starts 31st alongside Mason Maggio. And in the 17th and final row, it's Matt Mills and Caleb Costner to make up the starting field for the 25th and final race of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season. It's the championship race here at Phoenix. 16 Chevrolets, 10 Fords, and 8 Toyotas in that starting grid. They'll go 150 laps, 150 miles here tonight in Phoenix. Race record was set here in November of 2002, 23 years ago, by Kevin Harvick, who, of course, owned this racetrack in many different series. Average speed of 108.014 miles per hour to set the track race record. As trucks are rolling off of the grid and onto the racetrack for parade and pace laps, getting set for one final race here in 2025. And speaking of one final race, we mentioned in the grid there, Matt Crafton. He has been along in this series for such a long time. He turned 49 years old this past June. He's been in this series, as I said, quite literally for a quarter of a century. His first start was at California in 2000. He's a three-time champion of this series. He has 15 wins across nearly 600 starts. Tonight is his 592nd career start. And as we know, he will not be back with this 88 Thor Sport Racing team next year. Will he be back at all is currently up in the air and unknown. But what we do know tonight, JT, is in some way or another the end of an era for Matt Crafton, who has put together a very decorated career. Of course, when you can stay in any kind of racing series for 25 years, that's a heck of an accomplishment. Of course, it's been a long time since he won. He hasn't won in 5 years. Tonight, just trying to go off from this Thor Sport team and that famous number 88 truck with as good of a finish as he can get.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned that he's a three-time Truck Series champion, and well, it's a lot of threes for Matt Crafton because he's had 333 top 10s in that career, and also a lot of 88s and 8s with his number. But trucks are behind the pace car getting ready. Gotta love that Toyota Hollywood style sign which they've tried to replicate as a screen has gone black, which should mean hopefully we'll be having a driver tracker soon.
So, as I mentioned, Lane Riggs winning the pole, and he will have to drop to the rear on the start. Now, that is meaningful for many reasons, one of which being that he is a threat to win this race here tonight, and he's going to have to come through traffic. It's also meaningful in this sense. We're going to have to deal with this tomorrow night in the Xfinity Series Championship race as well, and we'll tackle that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's focus on tonight. You have 4 drivers going for the Drivers' Championship, but it is not the same 4 trucks that are going for the Owners' Championship because of many different things happening across the first 24 races of the season. The 18 truck for McAnally Hilgeman Racing, driven by Tyler Ankrum, did make the Championship 4 for the Drivers' Championship, but did not make the Owners' Championship 4. The Owners' Championship goes through the same playoff system, but of course counts all the points from all the races from that very truck, no matter who the driver is. Front Row Motorsports in the 34 truck, driven by Lane Riggs, did make the Championship 4 in the Owners' Championship. As I said, we'll have to go through this tomorrow night, too, with different cars than drivers in the Owners' Championship 4. Basically, to make this as simple as I possibly can, JT, the Owners' Championship is a huge deal. Us fans, the media, just about everybody pays attention to the Drivers' Championship because that's what really all of us care about. But the Owners' Championship is where most of the money comes from. So Lane Riggs tonight, going for this Owners' Championship, it's a big deal for Front Row Motorsports.
Yeah, it is. And, well, you mentioned the drivers, but it's that Owners' Championship where everything financially that will help the team comes from, as it's a major team effort to get that Owners' Championship across everywhere as well. But as you mentioned, Lane Riggs was meant to be on pole. It's going to be a big setback having to start from the rear, but on a plus side, only 34 trucks.
Yeah, and of course, we know he's got a fast truck, and he loves these kinds of tracks, the shorter, flatter race tracks. That is certainly the bread and butter of Lane Riggs. He won on a very banked short track at Bristol earlier in these playoffs, shorter, flatter track like IRP, where he won at in July. His other win of the season came at the very wide and sprawling, but fairly flat, 2.5 mile tricky triangle of Pocono. So he has dropped to the rear for the start. And we should be getting one to go this time around, I would think, as we're glad to have everyone with us. In the comments, Bob is there, Michael is there, Nicholas is there, Robert's there. Glad to have everyone. Plug is there, too. Glad to have everyone with us here tonight as we get set to bring down the curtain on the NASCAR season. 3 races left in the 2025 NASCAR season, starting tonight by crowning a Truck Series champion. Now, JT Corey Heim, he has just waxed the field in this Truck Series season. He has been just unbeatable. 24 races. He's won 11 of them, basically half. 18 finishes on the quote-unquote podium. That's incredible. 3/4 of the races this year, he's finished first, second, or third. What more can you say? Especially considering what the other 3 of these Championship 4 have done.
Well, 21 stage wins to 6 and 1,500 to 27. To 343 laps led from between Corey Heim and all other championship drivers. It's going to be uproar if he doesn't win it, but pace car to pit road, and it's time for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship race. Stage 1, 45 laps. Stage 2, 45 laps as well. In towards the start line and the start zone we go. Matthew Owens.
Field in turns 3 and 4. Remember, the restart zone here is in the corner coming off of turn 4, a very unique dog-legged 1-mile oval, and that is the site of the Craftsman Truck Series Championship race here in Phoenix, where it's time to drop the hammer for the final time in the Truck Series season. Everybody cuts the dogleg, and Caden Honeycutt is wasting no time going 3 wide to the bottom, trying to take the lead away. He can't from Chandler Smith, who will get away with the lead, and we've got a truck around, at least one of them in turn 2. Caution is out, and one truck has spun in the middle of turns 1 and 2. It's Dawson Sutton, who has crashed it hard, right side of that truck into the outside wall, and he has taken an almighty hit on the right side of that Rackley Roofing Chevrolet Silverado, and the caution comes out before even a half lap could be completed.
It's going to be a long day.
Yep, it might be. Oh, my goodness.
Big
One
hit.
truck shot all the way across the track. That's either Daniel Hemrick or Connor Mozak, one of the Napa-sponsored trucks, shot all the way across the racetrack in the middle of turns 1 and 2, came up and just took Sutton hard into the wall. And that is...
I'm assuming it's Daniel Hemrick as he's just entered the pits.
Yeah, so that would make sense. So that's a shame. Dawson Sutton, young 19-year-old driver from Lebanon, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, will have his season come to an end prematurely as he drives for the Rackley WAR team, and that is a shame for him. His season will end in this way. He has had a season where he's picked up a couple of top 10 finishes, including 4th at Talladega just 3 weeks back. It's not going to go well for him here tonight, however. Well, just like that, JT. Under caution. And yes, you are correct about Daniel Hemrick. He is on pit road, and he's got, in fact, quite a bit of damage to the right side of his truck. Right side is all scraped up, and the right rear sheet metal is torn away from the truck. So Daniel Hemrick, who, as I mentioned earlier, right here at Phoenix, claimed an Xfinity Series championship handful of years back in a thrilling finish with Austin Cindric on the final lap. That was, 4 years ago now it was, 2021.
Can we get, like, at least one lap in before we start doing crazy things, please? I know it's a championship race and that, but even though you're part of the championship race, doesn't mean that you're all racing for the championship. So even though you're, like, in 28th and you're outside the playoffs, there's no physical way of you being able to win it. So just calm down, please. I do like, however, the lights on the cactus.
Yes.
That is something I do like here at Phoenix. They have similar at all of our ovals, actually, Matthew. For example, Skegness, or as we call it, Skeg Vegas, not in Nevada. They have the casino theme park style bulb lights all around the starters rostrum, and they are synced up to the track lighting and act like they are the proper casino lights and like flash and fade in the way that they are. But let's go down to Caden Honeycutt.
4 or 5 wide sometimes, and we'll just see if you come out the other side.
The toughest part about it is just getting the track position to begin with. So get out front when it matters and when it counts is kind of everyone's priority.
Stay up front, and that race is a lot easier to race when you can find yourself inside the top 5 all day long.
The race is actually 2 hours earlier than last year. A good chunk of our race is going to be in the daylight, so I expect a bit different race than last year.
Okay.
So, a little insight there from a couple of the Championship 4 drivers.
From the 19, you look at the damage to those race trucks. Daniel Hemrick on pit road right now.
I think the 62 truck of Butcher was a part of that as well. It's kind of far away, so just if you look in the middle of the pack, you'll see a red truck. I think Hemrick is low. Maybe slides up into the 62 right there, Regan, and then it turns him straight into the outside wall.
And unfortunately, Dawson Sutton was just a innocent bystander in that whole situation.
How not to survive lap 1 of a race 101.
Yeah, Michael in the comments says, "Oh, already? Please don't be another 2023." Well, indeed, the Truck Series Championship race in 2023 was quite a disaster. And hopefully we won't get that tonight. Hopefully
do I need to prepare myself for a long night again?
Hopefully we do get entertainment, but not a disaster like that. Well, of course, you are lucky because you just heard Ty Majeski say the last couple of years this championship race has been so much later in the day, in the night. So you have gotten a bit fortunate there. Now, one thing that has to come into conversation here at Phoenix, on the start and restarts, all of the trucks, or most of the trucks or cars, will look to cut this dog leg. And it looks like that Caden Honeycutt may have tried to turn down too soon before he reached the start-finish line. I think he changed lanes. And let's see if they black flagged him for that, JT, because it caught Joey Logano. We got a black flag for that in the Cup race here this spring.
Yes, they have start violation.
Okay. So, Championship 4 driver has been black flagged off the initial start due for changing lanes before crossing the start-finish line. So Honeycutt, who was making a bid for the lead in the first turn, now has to go to the very back for this restart, which we are coming to with Chandler Smith on the front row with Brent Cruz, who won an ARCA race here at Phoenix earlier this year. Green flag goes up in the air. Smith, the control truck on the outside. He will cut the dog leg. Oh, heck, everybody will cut the dog leg. And through the middle of 2 trucks goes Rajah Caruth. He splits the difference between Cruz and Smith, and Caruth goes for the lead in turn 1, has to slide out of the throttle. Chandler Smith around the outside will take the lead to the back straightaway. Caruth falls in line second. Side-by-side fight for third is Cruz and High, but now now. Cruz in turn 3. Going to stuff it to the inside of Carruth. Can't make that pass as we come to the line to complete our first full green flag lap. The leader is Smith. Carruth cuts the dog leg with Cruz and Heim doing the same behind him. Under braking to turns 1 and 2. Heim slots up into the 3rd position. And that red and white number 11 Toyota already heading towards the front. JT's up to 3rd, and he's all over the tailgate of Rajah Carruth heading to turn 3.
And he'll go down the inside, Will Crew side by side. That is Riggs, I believe, heading back out of the pits just in front of the leaders. Will he get up to speed in time? I noticed last lap by how low and how long Matt Crafton was down low for.
Yeah, he was on the apron for basically the entirety of the radius of turns 1 and 2. Here's Corey Heim again, popping out to the inside of Carruth on the approach to turn 3. Trying to take over this 2nd position is Heim. He is door handle to door handle with Carruth. Across the line, Carruth has a nose in front through the dog leg. Heim digging deep on the bottom. Cruz and Majeski watches this fight out their windshield, but it's Heim. All 4 tires below the yellow line in the bottom of turns 1 and 2. He'll slide up, he'll beat Carruth to the accelerator, and Heim moves up into position number 2 on lap number 10.
Yep, Cruz dropped back a little bit. That allowed Heim to get up and take that position. But now look at Cruz. He's gained back up to that 71. He'll go down low onto the dog leg. Carruth doesn't. Cruz will cut back up, and he takes that position away from the 71.
So Cruz up into the 3rd position. Carruth slides back to 4th. Then comes Ty Majeski, who is in line 5th. And already Majeski trying to saddle the horse and crack the whip, so Corey Heim doesn't get too far away. Meanwhile, for Honeycutt, who got that black flag, had to restart at the tail end of the pack, already making moves. To the inside of Grant Enfinger he goes on the approach to turn 3. He'll make that pass look fairly easy, and Honeycutt will move up into the 19th position. Connor Mozak just ahead of him on the way to turn 1. Honeycutt is on a tear here, JT, and he doesn't need to take very long to make these passes, or Heim and Majeski will slingshot away from him. He makes another pass off the exit of turn 2 up to 18th as he does get around Mosak.
Yep, around Mosak. Then that lane Riggs down on pit road, that was to serve his penalty since the caution was waived on the opening lap and he couldn't at the start of the race. Lap 13 of 45 in the stage, on board with Ty Majeski, with the sun going down the back straight in towards turns 3 and 4. That is not nice, is it, Matthew?
Yeah, they'll be staring straight at the sun when they go to turn 3. Xfinity drivers will have to deal with that at the start tomorrow night. Cup drivers will have to deal with that majority of the day on Sunday going down that back straightaway. Here's Ty Majeski, driver from Wisconsin, loves these shorter, flatter racetracks. He's applying the pressure to Carruth. Slides up out of turn number 2, Majeski on the tailgate of Carruth. Now he'll pop out of the pocket. 2 is inside on the approach to turn 3. He'll hug the bottom. Carruth will let him through. So up into the 4th position goes Ty Majeski, and that puts him 2 positions behind Corey Heim, but already, JT, that gap to Heim is 3 seconds.
Yep, big gap already in the early stages of this race. We're now a third through stage 1, back with Majeski in 4th with Carruth behind, in towards turns 3 and turn 4 now. Let's see if Carruth will stay, or if he'll, well, never mind, because we're back with Matt Crafton and Ankrum. Now we're back with the leaders of Smith and Heim, as Heim has already caught up to that 38 truck.
So Corey Heim on the move, exiting turn number 2, right in the tire tracks of race leader Chandler Smith. Under braking to turn 3, Smith takes a wider approach into the corner. He's about half a groove higher than Heim, who cuts it down off of turn 4, across the line, and back through the dogleg. Corey Heim looking for his 12th win of the season and the championship. Here they are in turn 1. Smith, he'll crank it to the bottom. Heim will flare it out around the outside. He's going to get alongside Smith here. JT, oh, Smith shuts the door on him. Big block by Chandler Smith. Heim has to bail out of the throttle and stay in behind the race leader.
Yeah, Smith not playing nice here with Heim as we head through the restart zone once more, across the line, down into the dogleg. All 3, all the top 3 don't cut it These two battling at the front has allowed Cruz to catch back up with them, so it's now a three-way battle for the lead. Down the backstretch into the sun we go. Heim tried to make a move through turn 2, wasn't able to, and has dropped back a little bit, but he will gain that time again.
Meanwhile, Caden Honeycutt is in take-no-prisoners mode. He has already jetted his way up to the 12th position. 22-year-old from Willow Park, Texas, is on the move, as he had to restart at the tail end of the longest line on this restart. So he has blasted his way into the top 12. By doing so, he's also already passed championship rival Tyler Ankrum, who still is stuck back in 17th after starting 21st on the grid. So your championship 4 contenders coming to the end of the 19th lap. Corey Heim is 2nd. Ty Majeski is 4th. Caden Honeycutt is 12th. Tyler Ankrum is in 17th. Just as I say that, Ankrum moves up to 16th by passing Ben Rhodes. On the racetrack, top 3 are just about nose to tail. Chandler Smith, Corey Heim, and Brent Cruz already catching up to traffic on the tail end of the lead lap are the leaders. Coming up out of turn number 2, who is that? Caleb Costner, I believe, who they'll get around quite easily. It is Costner who will take it to the high side of turns 3 and 4 and let the leaders through at the start-finish line.
Yep, here's a replay of Smith shutting the door. That was very aggressive from that 38 truck. All 3 of the leaders are past that lapped car, and Heim will pull round the outside of turn 2. Smith will shut the door once again, but in the slipstream now as we head towards turn 3. Heim still goes round the outside to the extreme high line.
Yeah, and Smith will keep it on the bottom, and Smith with a twitch from the rear of that truck. That's going to leave him vulnerable. Here's Corey Heim sweeping down, cutting the dog leg. Smith tries to crowd him down as far as he can. It's not going to matter. Corey Heim way down to the apron on the approach to turn 1. Now he'll slide up. Across the nose of Chandler Smith he goes, and Corey Heim, for the first time tonight, takes the lead of this Truck Series Championship race at Phoenix. And as he comes through turns 3 and 4, he will click off lap 1,258 that he has led on the season. And Corey Heim has gone to the lead at the halfway point of stage 1.
Yep, and has already pulled 3.5 tenths on that 38 truck, but we're still in the early stages of this race. Anything can happen still here in Phoenix. Ty Majeski still in that 4th place. He has caught up around half a second to the leading 3, which the gaps between the leading 3 has now increased. Chandler Smith has dropped down to 3rd now as Cruz to 2nd.
Yeah, Cruz has gotten around Smith. Brent Cruz, bright future, many people believe. Just 17 years old. He won't turn 18 until next March. He's from Hickory, North Carolina. Has done a lot of great things at such a young age. And here he is driving for Tricon Garage, which of course he is a team truck to Corey Heim here tonight. And those two run 1st and 2nd as we complete the 25th lap. Let's check back on Tyler Ankrum here. Poor qualifying effort put him on the 11th row of the grid. He's moved up a few places here, JT. He's up to 15th, so he's +6, but that still puts him as the 4th of the championship 4 drivers, and in fact, he's the only one outside of the top 10 as Caden Honeycutt gets around Bailey Curry to break into the top 10.
Yep, and that was like passing a stationary car for Honeycutt as he made that move. A couple of moments ago, we saw a group of minions and crew, and I can tell you that I know exactly what they were up to, and it was actually the 11 team going, "Tonight we steal the championship."
There's Caden Honeycutt drawing up on Stephen Parsons, who's driving the number 7 for Spire Motorsports, and Honeycutt, as he exits turn 4, sticks it around the outside of Parsons. He's going to make that pass. So Honeycutt moves up another spot to 9th as Corey Heim dispatches of the lapped truck of Tony Breidinger, teammate from Tricon Garage. Of course, there's 5 entries from the Tricon Garage stables. Brent Cruz, Corey Heim, Tony Breidinger, Tanner Gray, and Giovanni Ruggiero. Of course, Gio Ruggiero pushed to the win at Talladega a couple of weeks ago by Heim. And speaking of Cruz, JT, he's not letting Heim just drive away into the sunset, is he? It's only about half a second between those top two as they close in on the truck of Greg Van Alst, who will go a lap down next.
Yep, the one keeping up with the 11th, and well, there they are again. You could also say that that's also the 98 crew saying tonight we steal the championship from the 11.
Yes, it is Halloween, and some folks have come out to the racetrack in their Halloween costume. I hope they don't have a big, heavy costume on. I mean, again, high 80s here in Phoenix, and it's going to be in the 80s and may even touch 90 as we go on through the weekend.
Correct in saying that's like 30 degrees Celsius?
All I know is it's hot.
Okay, yeah, 30 degrees Celsius is indeed hot. So 18 top 5 finishes this season, tied with the most all-time. So he could set another record.
Yeah.
All-time most laps led in a season for Corey Heim. As we now cut back to live, I heard that Fox went on a full-screen commercial during the championship race. Are you feeling all right, Fox? As Cruz heading, well, in the slipstream of a lapped car and just pulling outside before clipping the back of it, actually, as we are on board with Heim.
You know, something's happened to Chandler Smith, apparently, that Fox has missed. I mean,
he has dropped down to 29th and a lap down, and he was leading.
Yes, so not sure what's happened to Chandler, but Fox certainly has not brought that to our attention, whatever's happened to him.
Seth Eggert, the stat man, with his millions and millions of spreadsheets, if you think my spreadsheets are bad, then Seth Eggert's they're way worse and way better. Corey Heim has set another new NASCAR Truck Series record. It's also the first driver to ever lead a lap in every single race in the NASCAR Truck season. He's led in every single race.
Here they are focusing on Chandler Smith now, so obviously he... apparently, I guess he came to pit road unseen by the Fox cameras and has fallen a lap down. Now, what about Lane Riggs? Had to drop to the rear on the start after he was scheduled to go off from the pole, then had to do the pass-through penalty under green after the first caution. He's climbed his way back up to 23rd. He's trying desperately to stay on the lead lap, which he may be able to do because we're down to only 11 laps to go in the stage. And again, Lane Riggs tonight in that 34 truck trying to win the Owners' Championship for Front Row Motorsports. So we'll keep an eye on that yellow number 34 as the night goes on. One that we are going to keep an eye on, of course, as the night goes on, too, is Caden Honeycutt. And JT, he is absolutely flying. He has blasted his way all the way up to the 8th position. Might even get to the top 5 before this stage is over, or at least close to it, after restarting He restarted 25th. After that first caution, after having to serve the black flag for the restart violation, or the start violation.
Yep, he did also admit to that, and he has been told on his radio that he is the fastest car out there, and, well, not by time, but by just pure overall pace, lap by lap. It's Chandler Smith, by the way, with the Xfinity fastest lap, even though he's gone a lap down and dropped to the order. It was set before he had those issues, but already 9 to go in stage 1. I am going to say it, and you can have a go at me if we stay here all night long, but with the speed it's going at the moment, shouldn't be that bad.
No, a 150-lap race at Phoenix normally does not take a long time. Now, again, it did in 2023 because the drivers absolutely lost their minds.
Yeah.
But, yeah, generally speaking, a 150-lap race at Phoenix should not take a long time, just like a 200-lap race here shouldn't take a long time tomorrow night with the Xfinity Series Championship race. It's always some of our shorter races anytime we come to Phoenix. The Cup race on Sunday, of course, is only 312 miles. As Ty Majeski has a couple of lap trucks just in front of him that he's going to have to be circumspect about. First one is Spencer Boyd, who he will roam around the outside of and pass him with relative ease. And who's the next one up there? That's Nathan Bird, I think it is. Is it? He's going to get around him anyway, whoever it is. Yes, it is the 02. Thank you very much. That Majeski will get by.
Fox once again with the premier camera angles for our viewing entertainment, but he is clear now as they cross the line once again. Corey Heim, by the way, 2.3 seconds in front.
It's just a joke what he has done this season in this series. Here's Tyler Ankrum trying to make a pass. He'll do so on Matt Crafton. That puts Ankrum up into the 14th position as he clears Crafton off of turn 4. So you've got 3 of the championship drivers in the top 10. Heim leading, Majeski 3rd, Honeycutt 8th, and Ankrum back in the 14th position, trying to rally up after qualifying 21st. Crafton slips back to 15th. Ben Rhodes is back there in 16th. 2-time Truck Series champion. Of course, Ben Rhodes he's won championships here at Phoenix in the past few years. Here's Honeycutt on the move again, JT. He has been absolutely roaring through the field. He goes around the outside of Gio Ruggiero on the approach to turn 1. That puts Honeycutt up to 7th.
Yep, round the 17 truck, which he does now, in towards turn 3 and turn 4. Still 2.3 seconds out in front is Heim. Some could say, as Honeycutt goes down the inside on another truck, some could say that Heim is so far in front that he's in a ghost town all by himself.
Oh, very good. Yes.
Heads will roll at that one with how bad that joke was.
Get all the Halloween puns out of the way. Yep, absolutely.
Shocker. I know. Some could say a thriller, maybe.
You're going to lose another spot here to Stephen Parsons. Yes, very good. Battle for the 8th position, Ruggiero and Parsons here as we're down to 3 to go here in stage 1. Parsons is so far on the apron. Everybody talks about how the drivers cut the dog leg here, and they do massively. But turns 1 and 2 as well, you'll see cars and trucks this weekend 5-10 feet below the yellow line of the apron in 1 and 2. Completely legal here. You won't see it in 3 and 4 because the pit wall keeps you from doing that action in turns 3 and 4 as Corey Heim comes to the start-finish line around some lap traffic, having to carefully pick his way through Matt Mills as he starts the last lap of this opening stage. To the inside of Matt Mills he goes in turns 1 and 2. This will be another stage win for Corey Heim this season. It'll be stage win number 22 for him as he makes his way down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Mills is desperate to try to get back by him so he can stay on the lead lap, but that's not going to happen. Corey Heim out of turn 4. Green and white checkered flag is out, and he takes stage 1 of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship race at Phoenix. Of course, stage points not in play for the Championship 4, but they are for everyone else, as those points will count towards season-ending championship standings positions for everyone tonight. So that's Brent Cruz finishing 2nd, Ty Majeski 3rd, Rajah Caruth 4th, Tanner Gray 5th, LaJoy, Honeycutt, Parsons, Garcia, and Ruggiero. The rest of the top 10 as now the yellow flag waves. And that is a very quick first 45 laps complete here at Phoenix. Just want to let everybody know Dawson Sutton and Daniel Hemrick officially out of this race after their collision with each other and the turns 1 and 2 wall on lap number 1. They are the only 2 retirements so far. Mentioned Matt Mills fell a lap down on that last lap of the stage. That means only 21 trucks are on the lead lap.
Thanks, Matthew. As well, under caution, so we'll get pit road open and we'll see who makes a stop, and we'll go down trackside when they do so, when Fox, I'm assuming, return from break, because we're at stage break, and well, they're always on a break, whether it's stage break or not. But yeah, very quick Stage 1, even with that caution after lap 1. Playoff drivers, Matthew, the championship for. Heim first, of course. Majeski third. Honeycutt, despite his rear penalty, 7th. Very good run from him. And Ankrum down in 14th.
So it is Halloween night, as we know, which means it's October 31st. Shall we go on this day in racing real quick? Should we? Yeah.
Should we? I know it's a couple of people's birthday.
Yeah, let's start with the birthdays. Ross Chastain's brother Chad Chastain today turns, what does he turn today? 27, that is, as I do the math, for Chad Chastain. Former Formula 1 driver and Formula E champion Sebastian Buemi, born on this day in 1988. There's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time.
Yep, of course, the Formula E test we had this week in Valencia. That was successful. We had Pico and Jack, the two Jacks there, trackside all week. That was a good partnership between JBM and FEZ, and well, there'll be content going out on the FEZ channel throughout the next couple of weeks from everything that we haven't uploaded. Let's just say I thought my PC was going to have a little bit of a rest after the 13 videos it edited on Thursday alone. But then I remembered that we have this truck race, so it is surviving for now, but really testing the limits of it. But anyway, Mike Rockenfeller, it's his birthday.
Yeah.
Born on this day, 1983.
And also born on this day, I lost him. 1967, Buddy Lazier, former Indianapolis 500 race winner. Lazier, of course, with that heroic drive to win the Indianapolis 500 back in 1996. Colorado driver that broke his back in 20 different places in an IndyCar crash here at this racetrack in Phoenix, and later that year went on to win the greatest spectacle in racing. Buddy Lazier celebrating a birthday today. Very good. Also a birthday today for Tony Bettenhausen Jr., speaking of drivers to run the Indianapolis 500. He was born on this day in 1951, and speaking of more drivers to start the Indianapolis 500, Derek Bell was born on Halloween in 1941. And, here's a good one. Born on this day in 1902, Shelbyville, Indiana's own Wilbur Shaw, the first driver to win 3 Indy 500s. He did it in 1937, 39, and 1940. He was a 2-time AAA Champ Car Series champion. Wilbur Shaw, one of the best all time, born on this day in 1902.
Have we got Tristan Nunes as well on this day, 1995?
Yes, that's right.
And Christian Hope, F3 driver, born on this day in 2006. We shall continue after trucks make their pit stops.
Drive it. The team told me they're taking a big swing here with adjustments. Track bar for the 98. For Tyler Ankrum, another playoff driver, saying they just need more rear grip. Hurting for drive real bad here. They're also going to do track bar air pressure adjustment. Todd.
52 Caden Honeycutt, he really likes his truck. It got a little bit tight as that run went on, but he blamed that because he had to come from the back. Jimmy Villanova's going to take a little bit of wedge out of it, but overall, he's really happy camper. Amanda?
Corey Heim into his pit box, just got the fuel tires going on. Scott Zipadilli said, let's put some slicks on here and let's see how that truck feels. Corey Heim reporting that he's free into 1 and 2, but plenty of drive on this truck. He said to mitigate risk here today, I need good pit stops.
Oh, that was so close. Corey Heim shown as the leader off pit road. His team getting it done. I love Corey Heim's pit crew. They have all the win stickers on their helmets. It looks good because this is a team sport. We'll be back with...
Well, as they go back to an ad break, because, well, it's Fox, did we mention Jonathan Davenport's birthday, born on this day, 1983?
Very good. Yes.
Also, I've got here, where is it? On the, you have the more extensive, on this day. I get a short one sent to me every single day. which I won't go into it because I'm assuming it's on yours in more detail, about a certain rock and a race that happened in 1999.
Oh, yes. Yes. Right. So, on this day, let's go through the race list now. 2021 NASCAR Cup Series playoff race at Martinsville was won by Alex Bowman. Bowman turning Denny Hamlin out of the lead. That was the race where Hamlin said that he was a hack afterwards. Also on this day in 2021, a couple of supercar races at Sydney Motorsports Park. Shane Van Gisbergen and Anton De Pasquale winning those two races.
Van Gisbergen who?
I know. On this day in 2015, Matt Crafton won a Truck Series race at Martinsville, the Kroger 200. On this day in 2014, Kyle Busch won a truck race at the Texas Motor Speedway, the WinStar World Casino and Resort 350. 2010, Talladega Cup Series playoff race. Clint Boyer won the Amp Energy Juice 500 in a photo finish with Kevin Harvick when the caution came out on the last lap for A.J. Allmendinger flipping and flying down the front straightaway. Also on this day in 2009, another truck race at Talladega. Kyle Busch scored the victory, just edging out Eric Almirola at the finish. Yet another Truck Series race on this day in 2008, the Chevy Silverado 350K at Texas was won by Ron Hornaday. On this day in 2004, Cup Series at Atlanta, Jimmy Johnson scored a narrow win over Mark Martin a week after the tragic Hendrick plane crash. Very emotional win for Jimmy Johnson that day. Wild day. Playoff drivers, chase drivers as they were known then, just having all kinds of issues. Kurt Busch and Jeff Gordon blew an engine. Dale Earnhardt Jr. crashed after contact with Carl Edwards. We were 3 wide on the last restart. Crazy. On this day in 2003, Truck Series race right here at Phoenix was won by Kevin Harvick. On this day in 1999 at Suzuka, Mika Hakkinen won the Japanese Grand Prix. Let's see. Also on this day in 1999, kart race at California. The Marlboro 500 was won by Adrian Fernandez. Also on that day, a Busch Series race at Memphis was won by Jeff Green. On this day in 1998, another Busch race at Rockingham won by Elliott Sadler. On this day in 1993, Mark Martin won right here at Phoenix in a Cup Series race, the Slick 5500. Also on that day, he won a Winston West Series race. Actually, no, he didn't. That was the same race. Beg your pardon. That was back when the West Series would enter some cars in the Cup race, and it would be a Winston West race. That's my mistake.
They are showing Roger Caruth as our leader.
That's interesting, and I don't think that's right. 1992, real quick, as we get ready for the restart. Ken Schrader won here at Phoenix, NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour race. Tom Sneva won a kart race right here at Phoenix, the Miller High Life 150 on this day in 1981. And on this day in 1965, Curtis Turner won the American 500 Cup Series race at Rockingham. And that is on this day, October 31st, Halloween 2025.
Yep, of course, that was the first race that they held at Rockingham, as it was opened in 1965, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So here comes the field into the restart zone with Corey Heim and Rajah Caruth on the front row. Green flag goes up into the air to get stage 2 underway. Once again, the entire field will cut the dogleg and fan out 2, 3, 4, and maybe even 5 wide further in the pack. And in turn 1, Corey Heim has a nose in front of Rajah Caruth. He will clear him on the exit of turn 2. Heim goes clear to the lead. Caruth falls in line second. Ty Majeski hustling up to try to stick with Heim. He'll cut to the inside of Caruth for the second position in turn 3. Can't make that pass. Caden Honeycutt's caught in traffic. He's behind side-by-side trucks, which include Gio Ruggiero. Again, they cut the dog leg on the second lap off the restart, JT. It's hard to keep up with where everyone is when they cut the dog leg like that. Tyler Ankrum in turn 2 passing trucks. He gets by Grant Infinger. He gets by Stephen Parsons to move up more positions.
Yeah, that's maybe an idea to consider. NASCAR spotter guide. Like I know we have the Reddit spotter guide for the Cup Series, but one's for the the official ones for the truck and Xfinity as well. That would be quite nice, and I'll go on Reddit and there'll probably be a fan-made one and I've missed it. Anyway, lights are on around the Phoenix Speedway at the moment. Heim has already pulled half a second, so it's bye-bye for him. He's gone hi, goodbye, as Hayden Honeycutt is side by side with Tanner Grape. Cuts the dog leg a little bit, Matthew, as he's in towards turn 1 and turn 2 now.
Honeycutt's going to make that pass. He's got some real pace in that Toyota. Truck number 52 here tonight. Caden Honeycutt for the championship. Up into the 5th position he goes, trying to win the championship for himself and the Owners' Championship for the Halmar Friesen team, which he hasn't been with for a very long time. Up into 5th he goes, and it'll be interesting to see the further this race goes on if he has anything for Heim, because we have not seen he and Heim race together here to see what he is like in relation to the 11 truck. Meanwhile, another championship contender moving up a position. On the approach to turn 3, Ty Majeski around the outside gets by Rajah Caruth. That puts Majeski second on the racetrack, and now Brent Cruz is going to try to follow him through. Cruz cuts the dog leg. Caruth tries to shove him down as far as he can on the apron, but in turn 1, Cruz has passed Caruth and up into 3rd, so Caruth in the space of basically a straightaway falls from 2nd to 4th.
Down the back straight we go. We're already a third through this stage already, Matthew. That's how quickly it's gone. Lap 60 of 150 through the restart zone and across the line for the leader, which has already pulled a second in the last 2 laps. Yay! Just wait and watch. And you can once again have a go at me for saying this. Wait and watch for some late caution restart chaos. Because it's NASCAR, and NASCAR are going to try and make the playoff system work, but then it'll all unravel and they'll get absolutely roasted when, well, the inevitable happens. I'm not trying to make anything happen or anything, but it'll be all I'm going to say about all of that is surrounding 2 drivers in the 3 series that have dominated it is it'll be interesting to see the reaction from both NASCAR and the fans if it does happen.
Well, I have so many different ways that I could go about this conversation, because I truthfully do, I understand all of the hand-wringing that has gone on in the event that Corey Heim or Connor Zilich may walk away this weekend without a championship in a series where they have dominated the season to the point that they have. At the same time, if one, or heaven help us, both of them, do not win the championship this weekend, you know what will happen Monday morning? The sun will come up, the earth will still be spinning on its axis, and we will go on with our daily lives. The end of the world will not strike if Corey Heim or Connor Zilich does not win the championship.
We're talking about NASCAR Twitter here, Matthew.
Yeah, I know. I know. Anywho, Caden Honeycutt on the fly one more time on the approach to turn 3. He is putting the pressure on the tailgate of the Rajah Caruth automobile as they swing up out of turn number 4. And here is Honeycutt in the tire tracks of Caruth, trying to size him up for turn 1. Is he going to make a move in 1? Caruth's going to cut it to the bottom. Honeycutt will try to fade to the outside. Cameras don't stick with the battle, which includes a Championship 4 driver. That's perfection right there, as Honeycutt and Caruth still battle on for the 4th position in turn 3. He hasn't completed the pass yet. Caruth hugs the bottom in 3 and 4. Now he'll fade up just a bit. Honeycutt can't get through. He'll stick in line in that 5th position as we approach the halfway point of stage 2.
Yep, Honeycutt will go around the outside of Caruth. He will attempt to, as we see a beautiful sunset over the Arizona mountains. There's a side-by-side battle with a Championship 4 driver, guys. I think I can just see it from the aerial shot. There we go, through the restart zone. Caruth gets loose and Honeycutt's already made the position.
Yeah, so Caruth was trying to hang on for dear life there, but Honeycutt does get through. Caruth cut the dog leg aggressively, came up with Sparks showing off the right front. He is well below the apron in 1 and 2, going to try to pull a slide job to get back in front of Honeycutt. Can't do it. Honeycutt keeps it loaded up around the top. Down the back straightaway, gets back past Caruth, and that should be that battle completed now as Honeycutt puts himself into the 4th position. He is, as he crosses the line, 6 seconds and change behind the race leader, Corey Heim. Heim's lead on Ty Majeski is 1 3/4 seconds. You've got Brent Cruz in 3rd, separating Heim, Majeski, and Honeycutt. And again, the other championship driver, Tyler Ankrum, back in 15th. He got as far up, I believe it was 14th in Stage 1. Ankrum just doesn't seem to have the horses underneath him tonight to take the fight. Certainly not to Heim, Majeski, or Honeycutt. He really doesn't have the horses, it would seem, to take the fight to any top 10 truck. Can tell you, too, as far as the Owners' Championship is concerned, Lane Riggs in that 34 truck is up into the 10th position. He needs to finish ahead of Heim, Majeski, and Honeycutt tonight to take the Owners' Championship to Front Row Motorsports. Lap 25 of 45 in Stage 2, 70 laps are complete. Yes, about that playoff conversation. Will in the comments says, don't hate the player, hate the game. Sergeant Bob says he assumes NASCAR has any fans left. Well,
I think the grandstands and the many sold-out races that we've seen in the Cup Series this year says otherwise.
Indeed, over 2 million people watched the race at Martinsville last Sunday, but I would just have to ask the question, do you consider yourself a fan by listening to this stream of a NASCAR race? I would have to assume that you're a fan, but anyway, that's just semantics, I suppose. Anyway, and Bob earlier saying kart series, that's a blast from the past, indeed. As Chandler Smith trying to rally back after he had to make an unscheduled pit stop in Stage 1. He is still a lap down, but he gets past Tyler Ankrum on the racetrack. What about Lane Riggs? Just talking about him, JT. He is in 10th, and he's trying to make up some positions. In Turn 4, he's going to clear Gio Ruggiero to take over 9th, and now just ahead of him is the green number 7 of Stephen Parsons, who he's going to get to the inside of after cutting the dog leg.
Yep. He's up the inside of that 7 is the 34. You've just got the 17 truck behind that Lane Riggs gets past without any problem.
So Riggs up to 8th, and we will see if Riggs gets up towards the front, how hard he's going to race for this Owners' Championship. It's not a question of will he race hard for it. He will. He absolutely will, and he has every right to go hard for this Owners' Championship for his team. And again, we're going to talk about the same kind of thing tomorrow night, because you're going to have the Joe Gibbs Racing number 19 and Richard Childress Racing number 21 driving for the Owners' Championship in Xfinity. That's Eric Almirola and Austin Hill, who will drive those cars, going for the Owners' Championship, even though they're not going for the Drivers' Championship tomorrow. So Riggs up into the 8th position. Big rally for him as well after having to drop to the back on the start. He's got Jake Garcia next up, about 2 seconds up the road for him to try to pick up the 7th position. 15 laps to go in stage number 2, JT. That means we've completed 75 laps, which means with half the race complete, there is half the race still to go.
Matthew Buxton here on JB Motorsports.
I prefer Murray Owens or Matthew Walker on that. Thank you very much.
Yes, Oracle, sir.
I will take many comparisons to Murray Walker as a great compliment. Will Buxton, not so much. Anyway, let's move on. We press on like a Lee nail. Corey Heim approaching some lap traffic here, which he's going to have to get through very carefully and cautiously, as he will get by Spencer Boyd. And he'll also have to get around Clayton Green here, which he will do by going around the outside of Clayton Green's number 2 truck in turns 1 and 2. Clayton Green with a start for the Rayum brothers team here tonight. So, what do you think, JT, about these other championship drivers? Majeski has stayed within about a second to a second and a half of Heim. Honeycutt's rallied all the way quickly up into 4th. So, what do you think? They got something for Heim or no?
I mean, it all depends what happens as we get later into the race. But if I was to pick the cars that would be able to go against Heim in the championship, it would be Majeski and Honeycutt.
Our word of the day apparently is semantics. That is our word of the day on this broadcast. Behind the scenes things going on that just always go on with us. Another full screen break, by the way, for Fox, which is just great.
Which you can see the behind the scenes stuff in the behind the scenes member stream available to all the JBM channel members, and we thank you for becoming and being a part of the JBM channel membership. Thank you for that lead into that, Matthew. Tend to go in the stage.
You're very welcome. I aim to please. Oh, dear me. So, these first 2 stages going by very quickly here. If we can get to the end of these next 10 laps, 9 laps now without a break, without a caution, it'll be just 1 caution for cause through the first 2 stages. Final stage will go 60 laps. Yeah, I know. Final stage is 60 laps long, so that will take the green flag probably with about 52 or 53 laps left in that final stage. Yes, Bob mentioning that, yes, once again, full screen commercials on Fox. Will says, y'all are better than Fox. Reminds me of listening to the races on the radio. Well, that's what we like to hear. Very much enjoy doing radio-style broadcasts, which, I don't know. JBM's kind of like a mix of everything. A mix of TV, radio, watch-along streams. Of course, where I normally am, USRN, which, you know, the R stands for radio. So we do radio calls.
Does it now?
Yeah, it does, yes. I know that's stunning news for some.
I always thought it stood for something different.
Well, all you have to worry about it for a few more weeks, and then it'll go dark. So you don't have to worry about what it stood for.
The funny thing is that when I type into YouTube, United Sports Network, I can't actually find the channel. So I have to search USRN out of context to get to that video because I've watched it so much.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Lord. You just never know with us, that's for sure.
YouTube algorithm is weird because it's promoting it to everyone else, but it doesn't come up as a top result to a person who actually is involved in it.
Yeah, of course not. No. Ty Majeski trying to pick his way through some of these lap trucks here. He's gotten through a couple of them, including now passing Luke Baldwin in truck number 66. Majeski is only a second and a half behind the race leader, Corey Heim. Again, the stage points are not awarded to the championship for drivers on this championship weekend, so no particular need for Majeski to push hard to try to catch Heim before this stage ends, even if he could do it, as we're down to the final 4 laps of the stage. Majeski going to try to get around 1 more laps truck here before the stage ends. Further back, Caden Honeycutt in 4th. He is 9 seconds behind the leader, Corey Heim. He's 6 seconds behind Brent Cruz, who runs in 3rd, so he's not in any position to gain any spots before this stage caution comes out. And positioning will be important when the caution comes out in 3 laps, because you would expect JT everyone to come to pit road for the last scheduled stop of the night at the very least. So how you position yourself coming to pit road going to be very important when this caution comes out shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. In a couple of laps' time, that will. Bob in chat saying, what happened in a few weeks shutting down? No, it's USRN is leaving Mixler, rebranding to USN on YouTube. Nothing changed here. Nothing here changes on JBM, just the USN side. But it allows us to easily collab with USN as with the YouTube multi-streaming features that we have. They already have started streams on the USN YouTube. I will try and get a link while you call Heim through the stage finish.
Oh, he's going to put the link up. Look how nice he is. See, promoting another channel. I'm telling you.
Look at him go.
You got to love camaraderie, don't you? We're so nice with each other. Or are we? Anyway. Final lap of Stage 2 is underway. In fact, it's halfway done. Corey Heim, down the back straightaway he goes. Lead on Ty Majeski of 2 seconds. He's got a clean run into Turn 3. And Corey Heim emerges out of Turn 4. Green and white checkered flag waving. Second verse, same as the first here in the championship race at Phoenix. Heim wins Stage 2, getting his 22nd and 23rd stage wins of the season. Ty Majeski second, Brent Cruz third, Caden Honeycutt fourth. And now the caution will come out for the third time tonight, as we now have just 60 laps remaining in this 2025 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season. And Corey Heim is 60 laps away from a championship. Did see some comments earlier talking about stunning that he doesn't have a full-time ride lined up for next year. It sounds like, nothing's been confirmed, but certainly if you just listen to the folks that are in the know, kind of just talking about it, sounds as if he's going to be running a lot of part-time Cup, part-time Xfinity. He's been running a fourth 2311 entry in the Cup Series every now and again this year. In fact, in the spring Kansas race, he was the highest finishing 2311 car, ahead of Riley Herbst, Darrell Wallace Jr., and Tyler Reddick. And so it doesn't sound like he'll be competing for any championship next year, which is a shame, but we'll see what he does. Certainly Toyota is not in a position to lose another young driver, because they have lost some young up-and-coming drivers in the past handful of years because there just hasn't been any room for them. Of course, maybe the biggest example of that was William Byron was in the Toyota camp when he dominated the Truck Series campaign in what was that, 2016, but there was nowhere to put him, so he went to JRM and Chevrolet for the Xfinity Series in 2017, won the championship there, and then boom, he was in the 24 car the very next year in the Cup Series. So Toyota would certainly hope to not lose him, but at least for now, it does not seem, JT, as if there is anywhere to put him full-time next year.
Which is a shame, and, well, NASCAR being NASCAR, I think, is the only explanation for that, but we saw it with many drivers. Oscar Piastri taking a gap year after his championship and then coming into F1, but you could kind of call it a gap year because he's not actively racing for a championship if it does happen, but he'll still be around. Robert saying, let me know when the lights come on. Track change at sunset happens very fast in Arizona. Lights have been on for at least this whole second stage. I started properly noticing them take over in that stage 1 break that we had, but since we've got many stage 2 updates and we don't want to take away from the main Cup one on Sunday, we need to come up with something, and I hope, Matthew, you're able to either quickly search stuff up, because I'm going to throw you under the bus, but first let's go to Tyler Ankrum.
It's Phoenix. Anything can happen.
Obviously, the 11 is definitely very good. They've won the most races this year. They've been extremely dominant.
Corey has certainly been the best truck all year. Obviously put together probably the best season in series history, but when you're a player, you play to the game, and the game is a winner-take-all, one race. Those 11 wins with this format don't matter anymore. That's the game we're playing.
A game, you say? We like games. And there is a beautiful panning shot of all of the campsites and fields and desert around Arizona and Phoenix Raceway. Who says that NASCAR doesn't have any fans, eh? Matthew. Frozen Frenzy. Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
Did we have any surprises?
Well, let's see.
The Denver game, which I fell asleep in the middle of in the NBA, what was the result of that?
Let's see. We're going back to Tuesday. There was a disappointment on my end.
Was there?
Carolina Hurricanes lost to Vegas 6-3. I know the Flyers beat the Penguins in a shootout.
Everything's bigger in Vegas, they do say. I guess that translates to game scores as well.
Panthers lost to the Ducks. Panthers are
Quack.
very injured. Won the Stanley Cup the last 2 years, but they're very injured to start the season. Ducks won that game. I know Dallas shut out Washington 1-0. Colorado beat New Jersey in a game that had like 12 goals, I think it was. Now, what happened with the Nuggets in the NBA Tuesday, off the top of my head, I cannot tell you. But let's go to pit road, and then I will tell you.
Ankrum, another playoff contender, he said, I got my butt kicked on the long run there. 0 rear tires are left, so they're going to take a big swing at it, make a track bar and air pressure adjustment for the 18. Todd.
Caden Honeycutt, little too tight that first run, back in traffic, but now up in the clean air, the truck is a little free. He likes where the chassis is at, just wants a small air pressure adjustment. Amanda?
Corey Heim saying he wants to be tightened up, that he's free getting out of this race, but all eyes are going to be on how Corey Heim exits right here. The team did sweep this box and put down some more PJ1. You can smell it in the air. Let's take a look.
And you see Amanda still spun those tires. Did Ty Majeski do it? He did. He jumps one spot, takes the lead. Corey Heim spins his way out.
I have, for once, Matthew,
off of pit road. Wow.
Done my research myself.
Okay.
It was Denver Nuggets 127 to Minnesota Timberwolves 114. And I'm trying to find the message that I sent you so I can get a proper quote. But I think I've scrolled too far up, so yeah, let me scroll down a little bit. Oh yeah, let's not mention about that. What you call two players standing next to each other. Where is it? Now I need to rewatch the video I sent to you we got Daniel Ricciardo singing Taylor Swift before GTA 6. What was that about? Yeah. We also talked about the different drink sizes over there in the US.
Yeah, we did.
It was a very, very big, just random chat we had.
Yeah, it was a vast variety.
Can't find the actual quote, but I know roughly what I said, and it was something like, the Denver Nuggets will be fine because the Timberwolves are hungry for timber, not nuggets. And it seems like that I predicted correctly. The absolute brilliant entertainment of a Brit heading and staying up late at night to watch US sport.
Yeah, you were very taken aback by the high-scoring nature of the NBA.
I mean, I know I always joke around when you mention stuff from like the 1980s, and I go like, I was minus 20 or something like that. But I do remember when it, like, I do actually remember when it very rarely got over 100.
Yes, there was a great time where NBA games were mostly played in the 80s, 90s, and then you would have certain games in the hundreds. Now they're all played in the 120s and 130s, which is just insane to think about. But they don't care about defense anymore. in the NBA, so that's what happens. Yeah, anyway. So Ty Majeski did beat Corey Heim off of pit road there, so to get this third stage started here in a moment, Ty Majeski will be the leader and the control truck on this restart. Caden Honeycutt did drop 2 positions on pit road. He'll restart 6th. Let's see, what do we got here in the comments? There was a comment earlier about the trucks. Here we go. Will saying the trucks are a more pure racing. Those trucks are loose or four-wheel drifting. Now they are a little crash happy, but they look a handful. They do. The trucks are the trucks in Xfinity Series cars just drive so differently from the Cup cars that we see on Sundays. And yeah, it's difficult at times to make the adjustment. And that's something that we'll be talking about a lot next year with Connor Zilic, making the adjustment from the Xfinity car to the Cup car. And Bob says, we love our large drinks. Well, yeah, indeed. He also says, give me a good college or WNBA game. Yes, college basketball starting on Monday. As we are getting ready for the restart to get the final stage underway. It'll be 51 laps to go. Majeski, the control truck, outside of row 1. To his inside is Corey Heim. Caden Honeycutt will be on the inside of row 3. Green flag goes up in the air. 51 laps to go to decide the Truck Series Championship for 2025. Everyone cuts the dog leg. Majeski has a nose in front of Heim. They're 4 wide further back. Honeycutt trying to carve his way through traffic, but at the front, Ty Majeski ahead of Heim. Heim digging deep on the bottom, trying to get alongside of him down the back straightaway. He does. Side by side for the lead. Heim stuffs his truck deep into turn 3. It sticks for him. He'll slide up out of turn 4 across the nose of Majeski, and in the space of 1 mile, Ty Majeski loses the lead to Corey Heim. Now Heim's teammate Brent Cruz arrives on the scene to try to challenge Majeski for that second position. 3 and 4 wide still further back, JT, but it's Heim away with the lead, and his teammate Cruz is helping him by battling Majeski for second.
Shall we pre-record it now? Just to get it out and done with. In all seriousness, 50 laps to go, now 49 as they cross the line in towards the dog-led, but Heim has already pulled 7/10 away from Majeski. Cruz still in third, good drive for him, then Honeycutt down in 4th. It's lap 102 of 150, Corey Heim, your leader. We've had 3 cautions for 21 laps and 6 lead changes here in Phoenix, as now the light properly starts to take over.
Yeah, and only 1 caution for cause, which was on the first lap of the race. So Heim quickly back to the lead. Majeski going to try to stick with him as closely as he can. And meanwhile, at 4th, Caden Honeycutt trying to get around Brent Cruz so he can get in contact with the top 2. Tyler Ankrum has slipped back on this restart. He's fallen to 19th. It does not look like Ankrum's going to contend for this championship tonight. And, of course, for the Owners' Championship twist, Lane Riggs has jumped up to 6th, and he's closing in on Rajah Caruth as we speak to try to take over 5th. But to win that Owners' Championship, Lane has to finish ahead of Honeycutt, Majeski, and Heim. He's got to get up there and jump all 3 of them. Doesn't look like he's going to have a chance to do that if it stays the way it has all night long, but it's been a good rally back from Lane Riggs, who, again, trying to get by Caruth in turns 3 and 4. He'll get alongside of him on the exit of 4. Riggs will cut the dog leg all the way down towards the pit wall to driver's left. He'll sweep back up onto the racing surface. He's ahead of Caruth, but now Caruth dives it hard to the bottom onto the apron of turns 1 and 2 to get to the inside of Riggs. Riggs will have the drive off the top, and he'll hold on to that 5th position.
Yep, down the backstretch we go, down in towards turns 3 and 4. This NASCAR Phoenix Raceway they've basically gone, allow the cars to race on every single bit that is racing surface, but put a concrete wall where you don't want them. And let's see how it happens. Or a safer barrier, as well, we're in 2025 now, aren't we? Down in towards turns 3 and 4. Rajah Caruth is in 6th, dropped 4 attempts back behind Riggs after that 34 truck has headed off down in towards turn 1 and 2. Looking a little bit further back, Garcia making moves on with Giro through turn 2.
Got Rajah Caruth, who got into the playoffs with a win last weekend of May at the Nashville Super Speedway, made it to the round of 8. He was eliminated at Martinsville last weekend, having a good ending to his season, it would seem. He'll be in Xfinity Series cars next year, Will Caruth. He's currently running 6th here in this season finale at Phoenix. Once again, Fox is going to go to commercial, and by doing so, showing us the same B-roll clip of people in their Halloween costumes as they've already shown.
I've seen that clip 3 times.
Right. Yes. That's... Holy cow. They have nothing else to show us going to break, I suppose. But anyway, Tyler Ankram's very difficult night, JT, and let's call it a very difficult day, because earlier today he didn't qualify very well either. He is still stuck back in the 18th position. Cars in front of him can't go anywhere. Andres Perez de Lara, Chandler Smith are all right there in front of him. And he just can't seem to make up ground tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, as Cruz now up into 2nd as we continue round. I've pressed a button and hopefully, Matthew, behind the scenes, you can see my beautiful face, whether that's good or not. As 41 laps to go, that is Smith up on the inside of the 41 truck. They are side by side. Ankram just behind as we are continuing round with 40 laps to go. Caution.
Oh, and we've got a yellow. Caution is out. Yellow flag flying while Fox is in break, so the international cameras aren't getting to it very quickly to show us why the yellow is out. But we have a caution for just the 2nd time tonight for
Clayton
incident.
Green in the 2 truck, apparently.
Yeah, I'm looking at the big board in the infield to see a truck stopped. So I'm seeing more on the big screen in the infield of the racetrack than I'm seeing on the screen that I'm looking at here.
There we go.
Finally, we get to it. And yes, indeed, truck number 2, Clayton Green, has spun around for the Rayoum Brothers Racing Team. And we have just our 2nd caution for cause of the night coming out here. That was in turns 1 and 2.
Full screen commercials again on Fox's end. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Clayton Green from Marble Falls, Texas, just turned 28 this past May, making his 9th career start in the Truck Series tonight. He brings out the yellow. And it will be interesting to see what happens here on this yellow. Will we see any of the leaders come to pit road? Now, again, different from the Cup Series, where, you know, on Sunday, especially at this racetrack in the Cup race, anytime there's a caution, you'll see most everyone on pit road immediately. But you don't have unlimited tires here in the Truck Series, so it will be very interesting to see what the leaders will choose to do here.
How long do you think we're going to have when we get restarted, Matthew? 30,
Probably
32 laps?
Yeah, about 30 laps or so, because we're at 38 to go here. So, yeah, probably around 30.
Yep, and there is a replay. Just lost it, did Green, and spun to the infield. Did he hit the wall? No, he just missed it.
So, and we are going to get a good number of cars on trucks on pit road here. Lane Riggs, Rajah Caruth, Corey LaJoy, Gio Ruggiero, Grant Infinger. Looks like Stephen Parsons, Andres Perez de Lara. So nobody that was running inside the top 4, including the championship drivers up there. But Lane Riggs, who was 5th, comes onto pit road. Let's go down.
The crew chief tonight, Jonathan Coates, he said, bring it in, bud.
Well, you got to know when you know, and Lane Riggs knows. He said, I can't win like this. And heck, I started in the back once, and I'll do it again.
Let's go again.
So a handful of takers on pit lane. We'll step aside while cleanup continues.
what a surprise.
Riggs able to win the race off of pit road. They teams only have 4 sets of tires for the race. So for the drivers that just came down pit road, that is their 3rd pit stop. So they do not have now a fresh set of tires left for the drivers that did just pit here with 37 to go. I would think, JT, the reason that Heim, Honeycutt, and Majeski didn't pit is just to have a fresh set down there if we were to get a caution down inside the final 10 laps or so.
Yeah, just in case anything happens later on in the race. So, I guess back to JT's education to stupid NASCAR commentary and other stuffs. Once again, believe it or not, if you are a regular viewer of JB Motorsports, you will probably have on your bingo card JB mentions UK stock car racing, specifically Brisker Formula 1 stock cars. Of course, they're back at Hendersford for their next shootout round, their version of the playoffs. And I was saying to Matthew how when you appear in the UK, you are seeing Brisker Formula 1 stock cars on shale, I do not care. And then, of course, I had to follow that up with, unlike in the US, we don't stop for a little water. And then insert clip of torrential rain, and that was fun. But also, we talked about places we would like to go in the US. Myself and others. Denver, quite a popular one.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Denver.
Yeah, it's just Colorado in general.
Yeah. Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to go to Colorado, especially in the winter, as I just love cold weather. I really do. I love, love, love cold weather. I love snow. I love everything about cold weather, and would love to
Breaking
go to
news,
Colorado.
Matthew Owens moving to Alaska soon for more cold weather.
I could never see myself moving to Alaska just because it's so far away. It's so far away from the continental U.S. As, again, a Fox camera shot of more Halloween outfits, Halloween costumes. We have the Wizard of Oz from this group on screen. At least the Tin Man, the Lion, and Dorothy. I didn't see anybody else, any flying monkeys.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of Corey Haim.
Now, the wizard, of course, is apparently what they're trying, some people are trying to get stick as Connor Zilich's nickname, is the wizard. I think Jeff Gluck was the one that tried to start that. Not sure if it's catching on or not.
Yes. As we are on one to go quickly, so I will make this quick. I did the research on the cup sizes. Your small is around the same size of our large here in the UK.
That's right.
And your medium in the US is 300 milliliters more than our large.
Oh, wow. We love our large drinks. Anyway, coming for the restart with 33 laps to go. Just want to give a shout out to Cole Butcher from Nova Scotia, Canada. He's going to restart 7th here after staying out. Tyler Ankrum also stayed out. That jumps him up into 8th. First truck off of pit road on 4 fresh tires is Lane Riggs. He's restarting 9th. 33 laps to go in the season. Green flag up in the air with teammates Corey Heim and Brent Cruz on the front row. Trucks go flaring down to the inside to cut the dogleg. And Brent Cruz has fallen out of the pack. Brent Cruz off the pace. Everyone swallows him up. Corey Heim leads to turn 1. They are 5 wide further back with trucks going all the way down to the apron. Heim clears turn 2 with the lead, JT. The fight is for second between championship contenders Majeski and Honeycutt. And behind those two, oh, and a crash! A big crash in turns 3 and 4. 4 trucks in the wall, including Gio Ruggiero. Heavy impact for Andres Perez de Lara, who has crashed at a ton in his number 44 for the Nice Motorsports team. Gio Ruggiero, the winner at Talladega, has crashed hard. So too is former champion Ben Rhodes from Kentucky. His truck has come to rest on the exit of turn 4 up against the outside retaining wall, and the caution comes out. At least 3 trucks involved, perhaps a 4th.
Very big accident there. Multiple trucks heading into the safer barrier wall hard. Let's have a look at how it unfolded.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that is a head-on hit for Andres Perez de Lara. Oh, my goodness. All 4 tires up off the racing surface.
Going red.
The other
red.
truck in... no, red flag. Wow. The other truck involved was Bailey Curry. I thought I saw a 4th one. So the track is so wide on the front stretch in turns 1 and 2 on these restarts, but it really funnels down in turns 3 and 4. It's much more narrower there. It's heavy, heavy impacts. I'm not sure who got turned around first and why. I did see contact between Carruth and Ankrum, but that was ahead of all of that, and I think perhaps Andres Perez de Lara maybe got spooked by the contact in front of him between Ankrum and Carruth. Yeah, and he drifts up and cuts right across the nose of Curry, which turns Perez all the way around across the track. He and Curry take Ruggiero up into the wall, and Perez hit it head on. I'm not fully sure how Ben Rhodes got involved, but Rhodes took a hard hit driver's side into the outside wall. That is a grinding crash in the first lap on the restart.
Well, that was definitely a thriller.
Wow, and right as Lane Riggs just came ripping it around the outside. He had gotten all the way up to 4th on his fresh tires. And wow, we have 4 torn up race trucks. And red flag displayed. Man, oh man. That is hard crash, and hopefully everyone's okay.
So
safety vehicles all over the place in turns 3 and 4 back there. They're getting Ruggiero's truck hooked up to take back to the garage, so that would lead me to believe that Ruggiero has climbed out. That's our major crash. Yeah, Bob in the comments says destroyed trucks. Big J's 622 says Phoenix version of the big one. Bob says that was brutal.
I can confirm that the NCS Severe Crash Prediction Center has declared this as a PDS particularly dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Wow. October 31st, 2025 at 9:09 p.m. Severe crash warning for Phoenix Raceway. Hazard 1 to 4 car crash. Impact, damage to cars and walls is possible. Locations turns 3 to 4 is the official warning we got. Caden Honeycutt, some funny team radio we've had. I think I smell popcorn, but it might be my foot with my heat shield.
Oh gosh.
The team responds, so is it caramel or butter?
Oh my gosh. Oh, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, Bob with a good point. No word on what happened to Cruz, and this is where I scroll down a little bit and see if there is anything that... Nope, that is the Choose. That's too far down. Jeff Gluck mentioned that Cruz was super slow. Nothing mentioned on that. Okay, we've got a weird circle thing. Matthew, talk us through it.
Yeah, so again, Carruth and Ankrum, so tight getting into 3, and Carruth gets into Ankrum. Well, behind that, Andres Perez de Lara just reacts, goes up the track across the nose of Bailey Curry. That turns Perez up into the wall head on, and with Curry right behind him, or right alongside of him, and it takes Ruggiero into the wall too, and Ben Rhodes gets clipped by the nose of Perez, and that's how Rhodes got involved. I mean, those trucks absolutely massacred. A heavy hit with Andres Perez de Lara, a heavy hit for Ben Rhodes, heavy hit for Gio Ruggiero.
I don't know what they're trying to signal. But
No, that from Ben Rhodes on board, I think. Well, and the caution coming out at a time that was very dramatic because, again, Lane Riggs on the restart on fresh tires jumped from 9th to 4th in less than a lap, and he was on the tailgate of the 3 drivers that he has to finish ahead of to win Front Row Motorsports, the Owners' Championship. Tyler Ankrum dropped from, 8th to 11th. And again, as I said, Brent Cruz, that truck just, like they dropped anchor on that truck on the restart. He got swallowed up by the entire field.
I've just seen what Honeycutt said an hour ago. So we've just had the popcorn one. Well, we might need to listen to Honeycutt's radio a little bit more often because he said around an hour ago, it didn't help that my area was in the crotch belt, so my you-know-what hurts right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Oops.
Apparently for Brent Cruz, a broken transmission is what just came across the radio.
Here's another replay.
Yeah, just, like I said, you cut the dog leg on a restart and you got trucks 4, 5, 6 wide, and then you get to turn 1 and they're still 3, 4, and 5 wide. But by the time you get to the backstretch, and certainly by the time you enter turn 3, all of that funnels up together, and it's not nearly as wide once you get to turn 3.
Can I press a button real quick, Matthew?
Oh, sure. You can do whatever you want. You're running the thing.
Awesome. Jojo has said, does anybody know how many trucks are in this crash? Well, let's have a look at the main laps and rundown screen. And there you are. And let me get it up myself. The 45, 99, 44, and the 17. 4 cars.
So it wasn't a whole bunch of trucks, but goodness gracious, the impacts they took were all huge.
Yeah.
Stuart Friesen is here, which is great to see. Todd Bodine's talking to him down in the pits. Let's hear from Stu the Shoe.
I've seen in my life. He's done a remarkable job all playoffs. Jimmy and Dustin have done a good job, getting them tuned up. And big thanks to Alan, Chris, Helmar, and Mohawk for giving us the tools to do this. Everybody at Toyota. And here we are. We had a shot here at the end, so it's getting a little wild. 34's got some tires, so that's going to be tough. But we're racing that 11 to 98, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I got to tell you, Caden, I've got to know him this year, and he's given you a lot of credit for actually making him better through this playoffs.
No, we got some same similarities during the race. He likes to fly off the handle, just as much as I do during the race when shit isn't right. So it's been pretty right. He's been pretty happy since after time trials and through the race. Just listen to him converse with Jimmy and Chris Lambert and Dustin has been pretty cool. So he's a little on the free side. I think as this run plays out, it's going to come to him. He's going to have a really good truck. So we'll see what happens.
Stuart Friesen, part of his race team, Jamie.
Well, he's done a great job with that.
So
it's just great to see Stuart at the track again. The story is just so wild. Stuart winning at Michigan earlier this year to clinch his playoff spot, but then he got into a terrible high-speed accident in a Super Dirt Car Series race in late July. Fractured his pelvis, his right leg. I mean, he had terrifying injuries. So, of course, that was the end of his season. Well, then while all of this is going on, Caden Honeycutt, who was driving at the start of the season with Nice Motorsports, he got released from that ride. 52, still with that win at Michigan that Friesen got them, could go after the Owners' Championship. So they hire Caden Honeycutt to drive for the Owners' Championship, and then Caden goes on and makes the Drivers' Championship playoffs, and that's what's on the line tonight. Caden Honeycutt tonight could win the Drivers' Championship in the Truck Series while also winning the Owners' Championship for the Halmar Friesen team, which he's only been with for 8 races. Yeah, wild situation for Honeycutt, who's run with 3 different teams this year. Started with Nice, then at Watkins Glen after he got released from his ride at Nice Motorsports. At Watkins Glen, he drove the 02 for Young's Motorsports before he jumped in with Halmar Friesen. Crazy situation.
It's been a wild year, hasn't it? But it'll be good to see that 52 truck get the championship if they do with the circumstances. One for the stats nerds. Not about NASCAR, generally, you could say, but for the YouTube side, do we have Pit Road? No, we do not. Absolutely amazing. So, I will keep it in my ears.
Tyler Ankrum is on Pit Road, though. Ankrum has come to Pit Road all by himself to bolt some fresh tires on that truck and hope that makes a difference. It's not been there for Tyler all night, but come down, get fresh tires, see what he can do on them, and then see if some craziness happens ahead of him, and maybe he could steal this championship away. But he's the only truck, by the looks of it, on Pit Road.
Yep.
As the red flag has been lifted, obviously.
Yeah, I have got the stat nerds. Matthew, do you like numbers that are nice and together with a lot of repetition?
I always love numbers, as long as it's not this 6-7 madness.
I thought I was going to escape it with Joshua Birch not being here and Omi, but, well, here we are.
I mean, what does any of it mean? Anyway, carry on, please.
At the moment, we've reached 3,333 views. The concurrent views... concurrent viewers was 300. The chat rate was 3, with 3,333 views. There is one for the stat nerds.
There you go. Will, by the way, asking, what is the odds of race laps to caution laps for the rest of the race? Well, that's a great question. It's a great question. Who knows at this point? We could just all lose our minds here over these last 30 laps, and we could have another 5 cautions. Who knows? Go into 5 different overtimes. Oh, sure.
Or maybe we could have 6, maybe 7 overtimes.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, wow.
Corey Heim hoping that does not happen, by the way. This is his 3rd straight year in this Truck Series Championship race with a chance to win the title. Looked like he was going to win it in 2023, and then chaos happened. Had a chance last year, chaos happened. And tonight he has once again dominated a race as he's done all year long. He's led 93 of the 120 laps, 121 laps. And here he is. He's going to be the leader on the restart, but two drivers that could take the championship away from him will be lined up right behind on the restart in Ty Majeski and Caden Honeycutt. Red flag was lifted after 8 minutes and 41 seconds. The field has taken one to go, and they've gone through the choose. Heim is going to be the control truck from the outside of row 1. To his inside will be Majeski. Honeycutt chooses to restart on the outside of row 2. So to his left elbow will be Lane Riggs. So, see how the restart goes.
I have absolutely corpsed in the commentary box. All I will say is NASCAR Chasm had a lot to say about the Honeycutt situation, which I shall not repeat on air because I don't want to be slaughtered by YouTube. I will send them to you right now, Matthew. And if you want to see them for yourselves, NASCAR Chasm on Twitter. To the restart zone we go. 27 laps to go with the restart.
And the green flag waves, and Corey Heim got through the restart zone very good, but Ty Majeski going to stick with him stride for stride as they both cut the dog leg along with everyone else. It is nose-to-nose stuff for the lead here. Majeski dives to the apron in turn 1. He's going to drift up in the center of 1 and 2 alongside Heim. He can't get past him. Oh, Majeski has to slide out of the throttle. Heim takes the lead down the back straightaway. Majeski is second. Side by side at third between Caden Honeycutt and Lane Riggs. Jake Garcia gets involved in that battle for third, but Heim survives this restart with the lead still in hand. Meanwhile, Lane Riggs cuts the dog leg here on fresh tires to try to get to the inside of Honeycutt. He can't. Honeycutt slices down across the nose of Riggs, trying to go after Majeski for second. He can't pull up alongside Majeski. Now Riggs has a run off the top of turn 2. Riggs gets past Honeycutt for third.
Down we go towards the dogleg one more time as Viggs will cut that dogleg right to the inside. Very nearly clips the inside wall, but doesn't as he drifts back up to the racetrack. Does indeed get past a car as we head now down the back straight. So it's Viggs up to second, Majeski down to third, but still Heim in front. But Majeski not letting Viggs get away with this as he tries to go up the inside at 4.
Boy, Lane Riggs gets a massive drive off the top of turn 4. Remember, fresh tires on that 34 of Lane Riggs. He jumps up to second. He's driving away from Majeski. He's going to take it to the outside of Corey Heim in turns 1 and 2. Lane Riggs going for the Owners' Championship for Front Row Motorsports. Swings it off of turn 2. Gets past Corey Heim. And to the lead goes Lane Riggs with 23 laps to go. He qualified on the pole. Had to go to the back on the start. Had to serve a drive-through penalty. He has rallied back from all of that and now has the lead with 23 to go in Phoenix. Trying to give us a double championship celebration tonight. If he can beat Heim, Majeski, and Honeycutt and win the Owners' Championship for Front Row Motorsports. Heim still in second, leading as far as the Drivers' Championship is concerned. Majeski and Honeycutt still doesn't seem to have anything for him, JT. Those two have dropped back of Heim once again.
Yep, they've dropped back 7 tenths back for Majeski, a second back for Honeycutt from Heim. They are together though, Majeski and Honeycutt. That 3 tenths gap between the two has closed, and Honeycutt will go to battle with Majeski in a couple of laps time. 21 laps to go here in Phoenix.
So it is Riggs in front, 3 times a winner this year. He won at Pocono, he won at IRP, he won at Bristol. Corey Heim in second, but still in control of the Drivers' Championship as Majeski and Honeycutt continue to battle hammer and tong for the 3rd position on the racetrack. Second among the Drivers' Championship 4. As we're coming to the line with 20 laps to go. Riggs, Heim, Majeski, Honeycutt. That's the top 4. Then it's Jake Garcia 5th, Connor Mosak 6th, Corey LaJoy, Rajah Caruth, Chandler Smith, and Grant Enfinger round out the top 10. Tyler Ankrum, after pitting under caution on fresh tires, has not been able to make up a ton of ground on the 4 fresh tires. He's yet to break into the top 10. He's 11th, is Ankrum. 20 to go, coming to 19, JT. And like I said, we could have a double championship celebration here if Lane Riggs goes on to win this race. He'll celebrate the Owners' Championship for FRM, but who will be the Drivers' Champion? Right now it stands to be Corey Heim.
At the moment, yes. But Majeski and Honeycutt are still behind. They have fallen back a little bit, though. However, as we look a little bit further down the field, it's Matt Crafton in 18th at the moment, possibly racing his final ever laps, 18 to go.
Yeah, Matt Crafton, who entered this series, as I mentioned at the top, a quarter of a century ago. His first start in the Truck Series was in Fontana, California in 2000. What a career he's had, which has included 3 championships. Took him 7 years to win a race in this series before he finally got that first win in Charlotte. But he's been driving that 88 truck for so long, and more times than not, it's been a bright neon yellow 88 truck with Menard sponsorship. Here he is entering his final lap. 8 years, by the way, it took him to get his first win. 2008 at Charlotte was his first win. He has not won since Kansas in 2020. Let's not give the Drivers' Championship to Corey Heim quite yet, because Ty Majeski has stiff-armed away Caden Honeycutt here over the last couple of laps, and as he's pulled away from Honeycutt, he's closed in slightly on Heim. The gap between Heim and Majeski across the line this time is only half a second. You could call it about 2 truck lengths, maybe 3, as they go off into turns 1 and 2. Heim does not have only clean air on the nose of that Toyota, JT, for the first time tonight, and it may be hurting him to have the dirty air coming off the Lane Riggs truck, and Majeski is definitely closing in. When they hit the line, it'll be 15 laps to go.
Yeah, absolutely. As we go across the line, the gap 0.6 of a second. That safe light car definitely not safe, as Majeski closed the gap once again to maybe 2 truck lengths as we head through turn 2 down the back stretch. 15 laps to go. It's Riggs still out in front.
Boy, could Ty Majeski pull the big upset? He has not won a race all year long. If he passes Corey Heim and finishes second tonight, he will win the championship while not winning a race all year long. Remember, Matt Crafton, the third of his 3 titles in this series, came in a year in which he did not win a race. Majeski could repeat that. You just never know. He is close to Heim. Heim isn't letting Riggs tiptoe away either. It's half a second between Riggs and Heim. So it's very tight on the track in the top 3. They come out of turn 4, 13 laps to go here at Phoenix. Can Majeski do it, JT? He's lost some time on this lap. He lost about a 10th to Heim.
Yeah, we shall see Chandler Smith back up to 5th after his issues earlier on in the race. Has just passed Garcia for that 5th place. Back at the front though, however, we are heading towards 12 laps to go. Riggs has pulled out a lot over Heim as it comes across the line now. We'll see what it is. It's 0.8, nearly 0.9 of a second. Heim and Majeski, that gap increased a little bit, but Majeski still ready to pounce.
Yeah, I would think if Corey Heim, if he could make a decision, he would just want Lane Riggs to drive away. Let Lane drive away and stop disrupting the air that gets to the nose of that 11 truck, and then give him some clean air to use to try to drive away from Majeski as we're down to 11 laps to go. Ty Majeski, the reigning series champion. Only once has there been a back-to-back champion in Truck Series history. That was Matt Crafton in 2013 and 14, the only driver to win back-to-back Truck Series titles. And, of course, there have been multiple drivers that's won multiple championships in this series. Ron Hornaday Jr. won 4. Matt Crafton and Jack Sprague each won 3. Todd Bodine and Ben Rhodes has 2. Majeski trying to become a 2-time champion himself, but he's starting to slip back from Corey Heim. Each lap that gets turned, Heim is building the gap to Majeski. It's now 0.8 of a second between those two with 10 laps to go. For Lane Riggs, eliminated from the playoffs in the round of 8 cutoff race at Martinsville, last weekend. But for Front Row Motorsports, who has put a lot into their Truck Series program over the last handful of years, a chance for them to win an Owners' Championship, which would be such a huge deal for them. They already won a Drivers' Championship with Zane Smith in this series in 2022, trying to win an Owners' Championship here tonight as Lane Riggs heads towards turn 3. Under the lights here in Phoenix, he'll cross the line, JT, with now 8 laps to go. His lead on Heim is 0.7 of a second. Heim's lead on Majeski is 0.8 of a second.
Yep, as we now get the new times, it's 8.5 of a second between Riggs and Heim, and then 0.9 of a second between Heim and Majeski. 8 laps to go, heading towards 7. We'll see what happens as we get in the final moments of this NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship race and the Craftsman Truck Series season.
Yeah, the gap getting visually larger and larger between Heim and Majeski. Feels like every corner now Heim is putting more and more time between himself and that 98 truck. Majeski has given a valiant effort here tonight. He's been the closest pursuer to Heim all night long until Lane Riggs came up on the fresh tires. It's really worked out well for Riggs and the 34 team to get to stop under that caution and get fresh tires and bolt to the lead. There is some lap traffic ahead of the leaders here that they can't trip over as we're down to 6 laps to go. Corey Heim in position to finally lift the championship trophy in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. As we mentioned, it's his 3rd straight year reaching the championship 4 in this series. He won 3 times in 2023, 6 times last year, an incredible 11 race wins this year, and now as he crosses the line, he's only 5 laps away from finally getting to lift that trophy as he and Lane Riggs clear a couple of lap trucks, which include Greg Van Alst.
Now, down the back straight we go in towards turns 3 and 4. Into the final handful of laps, Matthew. And for now, it's all calm. But we've got some smoke and a tyre rub from one truck. That's the 81.
Connor Mosack, there is smoke off the left front of that number 81 truck. He's made contact with someone on the left front tire. Sheet metal pressing in on the tire, causing smoke. We stay green for now. Lane Riggs and Corey Heim both just praying that it stays green. Heim now has more than a second between himself and Majeski. So there's no threat at the back door for Corey Heim. Across the line, the leaders go. 3 laps to go. And for... Mosack is up against the wall on the front stretch, and the caution comes out. The yellow is out. Connor Mosack, it was actually on the approach to turn 3. The tire went down. He hit the wall. The yellow is out. And everything changes in the beat of a heart. Oh, my gracious.
Overtime.
It'll be overtime again for this Truck Series Championship. And remember, so many of these teams have 1 set of fresh tires left on pit road. Lane Riggs does not now. Remember that. Lane does not have a set of fresh tires. But Heim, Majeski, and Honeycutt, they do. And interestingly enough, JT, Tyler Ankrum does not. Remember, Ankrum pitted under the last caution, so he's probably going to stay out, and he's going to be the leader of the championship 4 drivers if he does, but he'll be on very old tires that are about, 25 laps old or so.
Yeah, big decision now for the cars and the teams. Do they pit or do they not pit? Checking some stuff in the 98 pit garage.
Well, remember on the restart before the last one, JT, Lane Riggs on fresh tires went from 9th to 4th in less than a lap. That's how much fresh tires mean here.
Yep.
I think if you're the 3 championship 4 drivers, again, Ankrum doesn't have a fresh set left, but if you're Heim, Majeski, or Honeycutt, I think you have to pit so you can just be in attack mode on fresh tires for the restart, and then you're going to have to avoid what the restart will be, which will be 4, 5, and 6 wide and trucks going absolutely everywhere. This is the money stop coming up here once pit road opens.
It's going to be chaotic, isn't it? And as we like to say here, it's about to get crazy. And the first part of it about to be getting crazy is that pit road is open. Everyone heads down pit road, including Corey Heim.
Lane Riggs also came in. They're probably going to put on their first set of tires. Let's go to pit road.
Have to.
See Ty Majeski bottom right. There he is right there.
2 tires for Majeski.
2 tires for Majeski. 2 tires for Majeski. Fox not using their pit reporters and showing absolutely zero intensity for what's happening. Caden Honeycutt slides into his pit box. Right side tires going on the 52. Corey Heim on pit road. Right side's going on the 11. Honeycutt, he does leave. 2 tires for Honeycutt. They're changing all 4 on Heim. He's going to be buried in traffic. Majeski's won the race off pit road from Caruth. Then comes Honeycutt. Oh my goodness, Corey Heim's going to be 8th off of pit road. Oh my good gracious! Majeski, Caruth, Honeycutt, Infinger, Gray, then Ankrum, then Riggs, then Heim. It all changes. Heading to overtime.
Majeski +2, Caruth +5, Honeycutt +2, Enfinger +4, Tanner Gray +6, Ankrum +3, Riggs -6, Heim -6, Chandler Smith -5, LaJoy -4. Drama here in Phoenix. This is going to be an absolutely insane overtime. Stick with us, because it is all about to flip on its head.
Boy, oh boy. So, 2 tires from Majeski, Honeycutt, and Ankrum. 4 tires from Heim and Riggs. And again, I'm guessing Lane Riggs' team probably put on the tires that they started on, that they qualified on and started on. That would be my guess, because he did not have a full fresh set, but they probably put those tires that they started the race on. Oh my goodness me. So, right now, you have Stephen Parsons and Cole Butcher listed and being scored as first and second, as they did not pit. Then Majeski, Caruth, Honeycutt, Infinger, Gray, Ankrum, Riggs, Heim. Now, I know everybody right now is freaking out, but Corey Heim can still win this championship, because on 4 fresh tires, he should be able to blow by Riggs and Ankrum before even putting a half lap into it. He should pass them. He should be able to get by Gray and Infinger pretty quickly, and then it's going to depend on if Majeski and or Honeycutt get held up by Parsons and Butcher, who are on old tires starting on the front row. Gee whiz. Well, if you want total anarchy on NASCAR Twitter and social media, just say keep refreshing your feed at this point, because if Heim doesn't win this thing, oh dear.
Let's just remind you.
This is what everybody hates. All the people that hate the playoffs also hate overtime.
Yep.
And also hate chaos, so.
This is about to go insane, isn't it? Let's just remind you of how NASCAR overtime works if you are new here. It's a 2-lap shootout. If leader takes the white flag, the next flag ends the race, whether that is a checkered or a yellow. If there is a caution prior to that white flag, it causes a restart, and we go again. And the part that everyone absolutely loves, unlimited attempts. 1 to go, and look at that front row we have on this restart, Matthew Owens.
Stephen Parsons and Cole Butcher. Oh my goodness, Cole Butcher from Nova Scotia, Canada. with an almighty opportunity to perhaps claim what would be an enormous upset win in what is just his second career Truck Series start. His first was at Bristol. Stephen Parsons on the front row, but on old tires, will they be able to even get going? You've got Parsons on the outside, Butcher on the inside, Ty Majeski on the outside of row 2. He's right behind Parsons. Honeycutt restarts in row 3. He's behind Majeski and Carruth, and Corey Heim is on the inside of row 5. Here we go into the restart zone. Overtime for the Truck Series Championship. Green flag waves. Parsons gets away pretty good. Majeski in behind him. Honeycutt's going to go 4 wide. Corey Heim cuts the dog leg. He's already alongside Ankrum. They are 6 wide for the lead in turn 1. Corey Heim down the inside of the apron. He just passed 6 trucks. He and Majeski are side by side off turn 2. Majeski goes clear to the lead. Corey Heim is behind him second with an immaculate restart. Now they're crashing. Cole Butcher in the wall. The caution is out. The leaders did not reach the white flag. The caution is out. The race is not over. Tyler Ankrum was involved in the crash. Cole Butcher was the first truck to go around. Grant Enfinger also spun. The caution is out. We will go to a second overtime. Corey Heim with the restart of a lifetime. He went from 10th to 2nd in 1 set of corners.
A lot of fluid coming out of that car that was crashed, and I just had a look at my other monitor, Matthew. They were 7 wide, and we are going red again.
Yeah, there's a lot of fluid coming out of, I think it was the Cole Butcher truck, so that's what's sending us to the red flag. Well, I said that Corey Heim could still win this championship. What did we just see, JT's? On the inside of row 5, he lagged back to try to get as big of a jump as he could, and he cuts the dog leg to get inside of Ankrum, inside of Gray, inside of Enfinger. You're right, they were 7 wide for the lead.
You heard that right. 7 wide. Oh. What is Phoenix? What is this? Absolute insanity here. And we go again. Look at Heim on the inside, though.
Heim on 4 fresh tires just was going to be unbeatable. He went from 10th to 2nd in 1 set of corners, and he was going to pass Majeski either in 3 and 4, or at least by the next time they got to 1 and 2. 4 tires, just he's unbeatable.
Hold on.
And then I don't know how. Oh my God, Cole Butcher with an incredible hit into the outside wall, along with Ankrum, Gray, and Enfinger. Matt Crafton, I think, may have gotten a piece of it too. That's the second time on a restart that we've gone just 5 million wide in turn 1, and then by the time we get to turn 3, they all can't fit into that funnel.
You're telling me?
What happened there? Ankrum got squeezed up by Enfinger into Butcher. That's what turned Butcher around, and it took all of them.
Oh,
Butcher's hit was hard.
And then got squeezed by the 3 other cars coming up. They survived 7 wide. It's not only did they go 7 wide, they survived it and didn't crash.
Yes, that's right.
But when we go 4 wide, everyone's like, nah, I'm out.
Oh.
We're seeing an onboard replay of Corey Heim's replay, and he was of his restart. He was absolutely flying. I am getting a stroke from the infield lights though through his window net. But look at how they've parked them. Look how look how close Heim has got on Majeski, and no doubt that was on purpose, or maybe a little bit intimidating.
Let's go to pit road.
We were scratching our heads on that 4-tire choice, and your driver just got it done in the first turn. What now?
I don't know why you wouldn't put 4 on in a situation like that. But yeah, hopefully it just goes green. We get a good start and finish this thing off and get the Safe Light Toyota Pro in victory lane and lock this championship up. But so far it's been a fun race and really proud of everybody, and we'll see what happens.
What'd you say to Corey on that move?
Nothing. He knew what to do. We've rehearsed this a few times.
Cool, calm and collected, guys. It's impressive.
Yeah, and of course, they mention in chat a couple of times that this is the final Phoenix Championship that we've got with that Homestead from next year. Back at Homestead, Matthew.
Yeah, that's right. Goodness gracious, I cannot believe. I just don't think I can believe what we just saw.
I might have to replace my frame that I have and get a photo of that 7-wide moment and put it in a frame, because at the moment you guys won't be able to see it on stream, but I will describe it to you. You remember last year when everyone was complaining that Max Verstappen was never getting penalties when he should have, and he finally got that 20-second penalty and displayed the absolutely beautiful, outstanding penalty graphic of plus 20 seconds to Max Verstappen. I actually mentioned this in the FEZ broadcast and the JVM broadcast in FE. I might have to put the 7-wide moment in there, but then again, the outstanding penalty for Max Verstappen is very funny. Either way, under red then. Second overtime coming up. Matthew, what do you expect in this absolute chaos?
Oh, well now, I think the only thing we can expect now is Corey Haim's going to run away from everyone and win this championship going away, because he's still on a tire advantage, and he's going to have the lead from Majeski by the time they get into 1 and 2, or at least by the time they get through 1 and 2, and then no one's going to catch him with the tire advantage that he's on. So this is... I mean, you want to talk about perfect situation. The best way possible it could have happened for Corey Haim was for him to go from 10th to 2nd and then get a caution and then get another 2 full laps to pass Majeski, and he won't even need all 2 of them.
Yep.
Majeski is the biggest sitting duck you've ever seen on this restart.
Absolutely. We have, just by the way, withdrawn the red and displayed the yellow from the starter stand, so we are back. Cars and trucks are rolling with the pace car at the front of the field. We'll get them back lined up 2 by 2 after we open pit road, and I don't expect anyone to head down, but we'll see. It is open for anyone to if they do need to.
Oh my.
Prepare yourselves. We're in for a wild ride.
Yeah, we sure are. By the way, Bob asking a question that I can't answer. Did I hear that Sunday there will be no commercials in the 3rd stage? That's actually for tomorrow. The Xfinity Series race on the CW will have no commercials in the final stage, as it is Xfinity's final race as the title sponsor of that series. I got a lot of Lane Riggs people in the comments that are saying, come on, Lane Riggs.
We've just got a freeze frame of the 7Y.
Yeah,
that was insane.
Big J622 says, in the immortal words of the late great Jack Buck, I don't believe what I just saw. Jack Buck, an absolute
What
legend.
in the wide world of sport was that?
Yeah, Jack Buck, an absolute legend. Calling that Kirk Gibson walk-off home run in Game 1 of the '88 World Series. Golly. Again, what we just seen on that restart is why everyone either absolutely loves the playoffs or absolutely despises it. You either hate it to its absolute core because Corey Haim might lose the championship in this one race after the season he's had, or you absolutely love it because of the drama that it builds and boils to go 7 wide for the lead on a restart. Listen, I've said this whole time, you can follow me on Twitter for the proof. You can look at my Twitter just for the last couple of nights for the proof of this. I've said the whole time, I don't care what they do. They could go full 36. They could go back to the 10-race chase. They could go to this 3-3-4 that's getting talked about. They could stay with the playoffs. I don't care. I'll watch. I'm a lifelong NASCAR fan. I've been a NASCAR fan since basically I exited the womb. I'll watch no matter what they do. Yeah, that's right. So, you know, I'll watch no matter what they do. And more than likely, no matter what they do, I'll not only be watching, I'll probably be doing this, shouting into a microphone about it. And, it is what it is. So, are we getting one to go this time?
Yes, pace car lights are off, and NASCAR chasm on that previous restart. Corey Heim just drove through the media centre on his way to second place.
He did.
He was very close to the wall.
All right, Corey Heim in position to still win this championship despite all that's happened over the last 20 minutes or so. Through the choose, Ty Majeski has gone with the outside of row 1. Corey Heim will be to his inside. Caden Honeycutt will be on the inside of row number 2. Lane Riggs inside of row number 3. Remember, he's still trying to win the Owners' Championship for Front Row Motorsports. But for the Drivers' Championship, Majeski, Heim, and Honeycutt will restart 1, 2, 3. Tyler Ankrum with damage after the last crash is still in the track and still in the lead lap in 14th. Second attempt at overtime. Can Caden Honeycutt cut the dogleg and put Corey Heim 3 wide? That might be their only way of stopping Corey Heim. Into the restart zone. Green flag up in the air. Majeski gets a good jump off the outside of row 1. He cuts the dogleg with a nose in front of Heim. Honeycutt cannot get to the inside of Heim, who rallies back to the inside of Majeski. Heim throws it down to the apron of turn 3. Lets that truck drift up. Squeezes Majeski up high. And out of turn 2, Corey Heim storms to the lead. And he's leaving everyone in his dust. Majeski behind him second. Honeycutt is third. Riggs is fourth. Here comes Heim off turn 4. He will reach the white flag and start the final lap of this season with clear track ahead of him, racing off into the Phoenix sunset. He clears turns 1 and 2. And the driver that's won 11 times this season and has dominated this Truck Series season like a Truck Series season has never been dominated before, will come to turns 3 and 4. And for the 12th time this year, it is Heim time. And tonight, it is trophy time for Corey Heim, who completes a historic season by winning the 2025 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship. And you cannot say that on this final night of the season, he didn't earn it. He earned every bit of it by winning 11 of the first 24 races, and then in the final race, he wins it in overtime, an even dozen wins, and one big championship trophy at the end of the road.
A much calmer second overtime compared to the first. And we'll get the burnouts, we'll get the drive-by, but Corey Heim definitely a deserved champion after that restart and this race overall. He's got the championship flag, he burns it down. What a season. What a drive this whole season for Corey Heim. Getting into the playoffs is one thing, but keeping that domination throughout the whole season, throughout the variety of tracks that NASCAR run at, is truly incredible.
He won on them all. Super speedways, flat tracks, short tracks, high bank tracks, road courses. He did it all. And in his third time trying to win this championship in the finale, he wins it tonight.
Third time's the charm, as they say.
And let's go down and listen to the championship celebration for Marietta, Georgia's Corey Heim.
Hugs all around. His girlfriend, a fellow racer, Taylor Reimer.
She's going to race tomorrow, isn't she?
ARC Menard Series starting
third. That's impressive.
2 racers in that relationship.
You can see these hugs to his entire team right here. These guys have worked so hard all year long for this moment. This is the best hug that they could possibly get.
And the agony of defeat. Ty Majeski did everything he possibly could. Came up 1 spot short.
Well, he should be proud of the battle. He talked to us at Media Day about he's not afraid of Corey Heim. He took him all the way to the last lap, and that's amazing.
There's David Gilliland, co-owner of this race team. 5 years ago, Corey Heim was racing for whatever team would allow him a ride in ARCA. Toyota saw his ability, gave him a shot, put him in the ARCA Menard Series, moved him up to the Truck Series. He's been here 3 full-time seasons. And what a year it was. Amanda Busick is with the champion.
Corey, I'll start off by giving you a champion hat that will signify the championship that you have been fighting so hard for in this season, and you deliver it on your 12th win of an incredible season that will go down as one of the best in the Craftsman Truck Series history. As you take in this moment, look around at these guys. What will this year represent for you, Corey?
I just am so grateful to be where I'm at. Just so thankful for Tricon Garage, Toyota for taking a chance on me years ago, and Safelight, Mobile One, Yahoo, Celsius for every bit of their support. I was so stressed out ever since we won the Roval because I knew we had to defend this insane year we've been having, and I've been like so terrible to just talk to as a person, but so stressed out. But this just is such a relief, to say the least. I mean, just so thankful for everybody. I mean, there's so many names I could go through. Trevor and Blake for all my prep work, 2311 for everything they do for me on the development side. There's such a long list, like I said, of names, but just so thankful for everyone involved.
It was a restart that we're going to talk about the entire offseason that brought 7 trucks wide here at Phoenix, and then the caution. Walk us through your thoughts on the final part of this race.
Yeah, I don't care if I was on 100-lap tires. No one was going to beat me tonight. It wasn't going to happen. We struggled all weekend, really, in practice. We had some issues in qualifying. We missed it a little bit, but you can always trust Scott up on the box to do everything he can to put me in the position to win the race, and that's what he did. So just drove it in deep until I couldn't anymore, and just drove away with it. So just insane. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for everyone involved. Just a laundry list of people that, put me in the spot and allowed me to execute. So just so grateful to be here.
One more. What time is it?
It's on time tonight, for sure.
There is your 2025 Craftsman Truck Series champion.
Ty Majeski.
Let's hear from Ty Majeski.
You battled all season long. You battled hard through the playoffs, and you gave them a great battle tonight.
Yeah, really just proud of the whole season that this group put together. We had a pretty rough stretch in the April, May, June months, and we had a pretty strong meeting with ourselves. Looked in the mirror and said, "Hey, we're champions. We can turn this thing around," and we did. We're on a streak of 12 races in a row in the top 10, 9 of them top 5s, and thought we were poised to do something very special tonight. And honestly, just a little bit short. Yeah, very close tonight at portions of the run to the 11. I thought at times we were actually better than him, but overall he was just too strong, and I couldn't get a good enough restart to take advantage of when in the run my truck was better. So thank you to Soda Sense, Curb Records, everybody at Thorsport Racing, Duke Ronda Thorson, Joe Shear, my crew chief. Wish we could have, I wish we could have been 2-time tonight, but yeah, just really proud of the effort and thankful for this opportunity.
Time of destiny, just a little short tonight, Jamie.
And great perspective from the 2024 champion.
Well, I don't know how many out there watching and listening was out of breath, but I was and still am.
We're just
What more
seeing
can
that.
you say?
We're just seeing that first overtime restart again. Down the back straight.
I mean, what more can you say? There's a
Only
lot
in
of
NASCAR.
Yeah, a lot of hand-wringing going on right now, heading into this weekend about how the best driver all year may not win the championship. Guess what? When he was faced with a situation where he may not win it, the best driver all year made the best decisions. Team as well, to put on 4 tires. The team made the best decision to put on 4 tires. The driver made the best decisions on the restart, made the best moves on the restarts, and the best driver wins the championship.
An insane season.
Just perhaps, maybe we should let things play out before we hit the panic button.
Matthew Owens, 2025. We're NASCAR fans. That will never ever happen, Matthew.
I don't know.
But yeah. 58 people have voted at the moment for Rate This NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season. We'll get the final results in as we continue the post-race show. As I scroll up, Rate This race, we had 40 votes. It was a very short poll because I had to do a who will be the championship on 1 to go. 34% said meh, 33% said good, 18% said it was an epic race, and 15% said it was a bad race. For the championship poll, we had 107 votes. 57% said Heim, 27% said Majeski, 14% said Honeycutt, and 2% for Ankrum, which, weirdly, I don't know if YouTube was bugging out, appeared after Ankrum disappeared from the standings. But it's a YouTube, it does bug out quite a bit. But we'll get the presentation all ready in the infield and hopefully hear from some more drivers. But I can already see that pit road is empty.
Yes, pit road is emptied out quite quickly. They've gotten the championship stage set up on that between turns 3 and 4. We are about to hear from Caden Honeycutt down on pit road with Fox Sports' Amanda Busick. What a roller coaster ride of a season it's been for Caden and that entire 52 team. Let's hear from him.
Situation, you were kind of named one of the dark horses, and now you'll finish 3rd in the 2025 championship. You said that the 11, he was just the one to beat tonight. How will you reflect on this experience for yourself?
Yeah, I don't think it could be anything but good, honestly. I just thank you to Stuart, everyone at HFR, Toyota, Halmar, Mohawk Northeast, and everyone that gave me the chance to be here tonight. Honestly, we had a good truck. You know, the initial start is what it is. Ultimately, it didn't change how we finished in our speed. We were able to get back up through there and fight those 2 at the end. Just the last restart, the only thing I had a chance at is if him and Corey got together, and maybe we could have been 3 on the bottom into 3, but ultimately just didn't happen. Just didn't have the balance we needed there to fight for it. But you know, like I said, this run was for Stuart, this whole team. Definitely nothing to hang my head about it for sure. My goal when I signed up this year was to at least be here, and we did that. And any shape or fashion, for sure, definitely was a crazy journey to be here. But thanks to everyone that supported me and been in my corner. And we're looking forward to next year, and hopefully have Stuart back in the seat where he belongs at with this team.
And that next season, we'll see a full season ride with Tricon. Now that you've raced in a playoff, will you approach the season different?
I don't know. We'll have to see. I've heard some different things about things changing next year. But either way, like, you know, whatever the rules are, I signed up to be here, and this is what I want to do the rest of my life. So if they keep the format the way it is, I'll be here. If not, then I'll still be here. And yeah, just like I said, just thanks to everyone that's let me do this, and looking forward to what's to come for sure with this manufacturer. I'm excited.
Thank you, Kate. And Jamie, I think you said we get to see this guy in 105 days?
Yes. An announcement coming about his future next week, we're told.
Interesting.
He's a fine young driver, Caden Honeycutt. There's no doubt about that. We're going to see a lot more of him in the future it would seem. But just like we're going to see a lot more of Corey Heim. Of course, we don't know Corey Heim's 2026 plans yet.
That championship win could have changed it.
Yeah, very well could have. Let's hear from our fourth of the championship contenders tonight, who just didn't have it tonight, unfortunately. Tyler Ankrum coming home fourth in the championship standings this year. He's down on pit road with Todd Bodine.
I know this is not the way that you wanted to end this year with a bent-up race truck, fourth in the points, but you got your win at Rockingham. You got a lot of bright spots to look back at.
Yeah, no, I mean, even tonight, we worked really, really hard tonight. We worked really hard on the truck, and it finally got it right there in the third stage where we picked up a lot of spots very quickly, and I felt like we had a very competitive truck at that point. Sucked it took that long to get there, but yeah, no, I mean, everybody's here's first time in the Final Four, win at Rockingham, bunch of top fives, top tens, not much to complain about overall in the whole year. Wish we would have just shown better in the Final Four, but we'll be back here next year.
Tyler Ankrum, looking forward to next year. Jamie?
Corey Heim has gotten back into his truck and now is driving it back around the track so he can get to the championship stage, which again is inside turns 3 and 4, kind of between the racetrack and pit road. So he will drive that truck back, and we'll have the championship trophy presentation. What a moment, though, for the driver from Marietta, Georgia, who has done so much in his racing career at such a young age. He's just 23 years old. He was the Rookie of the Year in the Truck Series 3 years ago. It was his third straight trip to the Championship 4 in the Truck Series. He's done so much on the Cars Tour when he was even younger than he already is. 9 wins in ARCA. Driving for Venturini Motorsports, which was, of course, for so long the dynastic team in ARCA competition. And now, tonight, his 12th win of the Truck Series season, 23rd win of his career, and knocks down that championship for a driver that graduated from Kennesaw Mountain High School in Kennesaw, Georgia. Georgia Peach has put together a peach of a season and won the Truck Series championship. Just his year this year, JT, is just remarkable to think about. I mean, 12 wins on its own is remarkable to think about. But when you look back at just how the final stretch of the season, he won 7 of the last 9 races of the year. And in the last 11 races of the season, his worst finish was 3rd.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane from Corey Heim. Even if you look at all of the other motorsport that is around, I don't think you'd be able to find stats like Corey Heim's. And he has definitely left his mark in this series, this season. And, well, we'll look forward to what he does in the future and where he will leave his mark next.
I can't get over just scrolling through social media. Everyone's tweeting out the picture of the 7 wide, and everybody is going crazy about, oh my God, they were 7 wide for the lead, and while in the same post talking about how terrible the system is. The system gave you that. Unbelievable. Heim about to climb out of his truck for a second time in the championship trophy presentation to our new champion, Corey Heim.
So, NASCAR are apparently calling Connor Mozak his crew chief and spotter to the hauler.
Yes, I'm sure they probably are after that.
Yes.
Shall we go down to, is that Caitlin Vinci to do the trophy presentation?
Why not?
Craftsman Truck Series champion of Corey Heim, and for that we have the Executive Vice President, Chief Venue and Racing Innovation Officer Ben Kennedy, along with Carlos Cortez, the Director of Marketing for Black & Decker. Great to have you guys here. So Ben, you can do the honors.
Corey, what an incredible season you and your team have had. You guys dominated this entire season. You broke many records for the Craftsman Truck Series, and we know you're going to make us proud as our champion this year. So on behalf of NASCAR, our millions of incredible fans around this world, it is my honor to present to you the 2025 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship Trophy. Congratulations.
You've had a chance to see family, friends, and this team. Tell me, how special is this entire group that helped make this happen?
Yeah, it's just hasn't really sunk in yet, but I'm just so incredibly grateful for these guys. Without them, I would be not even in this position, not even close to this position. So I'm just so grateful for these guys. Insanely fast trucks this year, and the pit call strategy at the end by Scott, give us 4 tires, put me in position to win the race. Just, I mean, picture perfect. We were able to dominate once again tonight, and I just drove the heck out of it those last couple restarts. So just a surreal feeling, hasn't sung in yet, but just these guys, every single one of the people up here on the stage with me, as well as a laundry list, list of people on top of that, just incredible year in general, and just grateful for everybody.
You mentioned your crew chief, Scott Zipadelli. You guys have been together for a number of years. What has he done for your career, and what impact has he had on this team and all the efforts they've made?
Yeah, he's the man. I mean, once again, just tonight shows that, the pressure's on, and he does everything absolutely perfect tonight. We got better and better as the night went. He did the perfect pit call strategy at the end to put us in position. He's the true captain of this team, and there's a reason why these guys have been with him for as long as they have been. So just an incredible human being, and really just from head to tail on this Tricon team, just everyone just done an awesome job.
Congratulations. Enjoy this one. Corey Heim, an absolutely incredible campaign in 2025. He is the champion. Jamie?
Well, JT, let's get final thoughts here and wrap up our first night of championship weekend in NASCAR here in Phoenix. What'd you think about the chaotic ending to a run-of-the-mill race? It all led up to the chaotic ending, and we got the rightful champion.
What just happened? For any series to go 7 wide is insane. We've seen legends go 4, 5 wide. We've seen stock cars in the UK go 5 wide and survive. But and let's be honest, these trucks aren't small, Matthew. And for them to go 7 wide is insane. But what a race. Good to see that we have survived the first of 2 of the possible upsets of the dominating driver.
JT, we didn't survive
winning.
it. We thrived through it. Enjoy what you see, people.
Yes.
Enjoy it. We thrived in it.
Do not go into tomorrow thinking about all the bad things that can happen, because this race today is the perfect example of what can happen. We had the poll of Rate This NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season. 88 votes, 52% said it was good, 18% said meh, 18% said it was an epic season, and 12% said it was bad. Just from me to every single one of you that has tuned in throughout the season here on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, most of the race broadcasts have been the NASCAR Radio Network, with the last 2 being taken over by myself solo in Martinsville and me and Matthew here in this one. To all 139 of you who are currently watching and have stuck around for this extended post-race show, to all 6,836 overall in this stream, thank you. And to the one member who has watched 2 hours and 23 minutes and 44 seconds of the behind-the-scenes member stream, I see you, thank you as well. But Matthew, let's close out what has been an insane NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series championship race and the season as a whole.
Yes, it was a tremendous season, and we congratulate Corey Heim for having a season literally like we have never seen before. 12 wins, more than any other in Truck Series history, more top fives than ever before in a truck season, more laps led, more stage wins, more everything. Corey Heim is finally a champion of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and he's got a bright, bright future ahead. There's no doubt about that. We thank everyone for joining us tonight here on JBM. Hope you'll do the same tomorrow night. The Xfinity Series Championship race, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, JBM and USRN 2, and then Sunday, JBM and USRN for the NASCAR Cup Series Championship race. We hope we will see you and hear from you for all of it, but for tonight, on this All Hallows Eve, we congratulate Truck Series champion for 2025, Marietta, Georgia's Corey Heim.